Got smelling inhalers and everything. Trying to clear ourselves out. Right, let's just wait for social media to catch up a bit. Oh, I can see a few people have come on. Good evening all. Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Speedway Memories. Hope you're all good. Broke out the new Swindon Town shirt because Roscoe's on. Hello Frank, how's it going? Hello Simon. Hey Phil, how's it going? Not sure who that is, but hopefully they'll hook up their Facebook. And that is whoever's in. In actual fact, I'm going to post in the comments right now while we're thinking about it. So basically, look, let's see that you can see that link at the bottom of there. Look, you've got to click on that before you come in the video, and then it hooks you up to go on with Facebook. But I'm just going to put it on the comments as well. So if anyone hasn't done it, then hopefully you can see my comment to click on to give yourself permission. So I've done one in the group. Now I'm going to do one on my own Facebook. There we go. Just going to do that for you as well. So if everyone makes sure they click on this that are coming through Facebook, hopefully you should all be able to see who's on then. Let me do that one as well. Just going on to my Facebook page as well. I've just commented on that one. There we go. So hopefully you should. So it's basically like that, look. I've posted a few of them in from the different accounts. So all you guys on Facebook, if you can click on that, it looks like Keith's all good. Hi Alan. Hi Keith. Hi Kev. Not sure who that is, but hopefully you can. I know it's a new Swindon one, so hopefully you can click on that link I've put in the thing. Hi Keith. Hi Paul. How's it going? Hope you're good, buddy. Mother Alun Rossiter, my hero. In my day, growing up to do a job, track record holder at many tracks. Whoever that is, hopefully you can click on this link. I've put it in the comments. Look, if you click on that, it'll give your profile permission. And then it will show you like that, so I can see who I'm talking to. Same with that one, whoever that is as well. So evening to you. So I've put a few comments in there now, so hopefully you guys will see it, and that'll all be good. So the man will be on in a minute. How is everyone? Hopefully you guys can get that sorted out on a Facebook, so I can see who we're quoting on screen. Seeing my video back of myself looks really weird. Come on, Sean Tacey, click on that link. Hi, mate, whoever that is. Hi, Simon. I see you last year at the Monster Rig Cardiff. Was bloody boiling. Yeah, it was, mate. It was boiling, wasn't it? Hi, Richard. Thank you very much for that help the other day, buddy. I really appreciate that. Much appreciated. I will put my PayPal link in the comments if anyone wants to help in any way. Richard said about it as well. He didn't realise, but yeah, it does cost 50 quid a month to run this StreamYard link and stuff like that. So if any small help always helps me, I would appreciate it. Not sure who that is, but hopefully they'll hook it up. There he is. Don't be silly then, Dave. Hope you're good, buddy. How's your dad? Hope you're okay. Hope Ellie's enjoying her birthday. So big happy birthday to Ellie Norris. Hope you spoiled her today, Dave. Were you going fishing? Hello, Stephen. Glad loads of you now clicked on the Facebook thing, so it's all going well. I'm not too bad. How are you, mate? Mr. Kennett. Barney, love my friend. Great to see you and come on, Roscoe. Say how you feel about Speedway. Yes. Happy birthday, Ellie. Ready, Poppy? We're going to sing happy birthday. Ready? I need you out quickly. Ready? Go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellie. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. My little Poppy Grace in the background. Don't worry, guys. Coke Zero. Not taking in the sugar. There she is. I've had a bit of a chest and cold thing, so I don't know if I sound a bit weird on here, but we've got numbing throat spray. Any of these guys want to advertise me, it'd be fantastic. Chesty cough pastels. Woo. Cool. That smells nice, actually, that does. My mum's just gone and said happy birthday. Hello, how's it going? I'm all good, thank you. How are you? Hi, Martin. I can see everyone's got their profiles all sorted out now. Is anyone legend in here, mate? It ain't me. Mr. David Norris. Eastbourne Eagles extraordinaire and Team GB. Woo! Who is that? Is that Mr. Tacey? Come on, Tacey, click on that link so I can see when you comment. Look, I've put it in here somewhere. Look, it's in the comments. Have a look in your comments and hopefully you can click on that, Mr. Tacey, and then we can see when you say anything. Bonjour, monsieur. Hello, Jacob. How's it going, buddy? Might have to hook you up with my MXGP vest if I can get one at the Matterley this year. You can have my one, the one you said you like the look of. Not sure who that is, but hopefully they will click on my link that I put in the post. Because Roscoe will be on in a couple of minutes. I did tell him hopefully to click on at about 10 past after we said a few hellos. And obviously sang happy birthday to Ellie. Get some whiskey down here, that'll sort you out. Yeah, I've never had whiskey. Maybe it was... Do you reckon you'll get served, Poppy, if you just nip down the shop? Okay, buddy. Oh, bless her. Hope you've had a good day, Ellie. Hope Dave's been spoiling you. Mr. Floppy. Oh, here it goes. Right, here we go. This should be interesting. Hello, Mr. Tacey. You are live. Please don't swear. No, you can't swear, but... Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, boy.
Hello.
Mate, I can't get on it.
So, if you come out of the video...
Yeah.
If you come out of the video, I'm having trouble, Roscoe, with Sean Tacey already.
Right, okay.
He's trying to click on the link.
You'll always have trouble with
Oh, we'll always have trouble with you, yeah. So we can't hear Roscoe until we bring him in anyway, so he can say what he likes about you at the minute.
He's all right, get him.
Right, so basically just come out of the video and then there's like a little blue link in the post and then you click on that. Yeah, if you click on that, it'll give you it's basically just a privacy permission so you can put your name in on the comments.
Right, that'll do.
All right, try that.
I put a couple of comments and people were like, yeah, that's Tacey, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you can do that, we're just about to crack on now. Top man.
All right, mate. Love to Roscoe if I don't get on.
Love to Roscoe, yeah. All right. Cheers, mate. Bye. Right, okay. And that's supposed to be it, right. I can see the man in the bottom of my screen. We've been singing happy birthday on here to Ellie Norris. So it's all been going on. I've got my new Swindon shirt on ready for Roscoe. Let's get the video going then. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm living good. I'm living great. Everything I do in the first place. I said I'm living good. I'm living great. Everything I do in the first place. Yeah. Watch my money grow. Watch my money grow watch my money grow like a proud parent. Yeah, my money getting old and it's colder than money, honey. I'm living good, I'm living great. Everything I do in the first place. So I said I'm living good, I'm living great. Everything I do in the first place. Yeah. Watch my money grow, watch my money grow watch my money grow like a proud parent. Yeah, my money getting old and it's colder than the snow bunny. Happy getting money, honey. I'm living good, I'm living great.
You're wondering if that's going to end. Right, here he is. Hopefully it's going to work. Let's try it. Mr Rossiter.
Good evening, Lee. How are we?
Not too bad, look.
I got mine coming for me, boy.
Good man, good man. I've ordered the blue one as well that I don't get till next month, I don't think, but
I've got the blue one. When I went on when it was COVID, we went round on a cruise around England, and I had the blue one there. It was quite a good one.
yeah, have you seen the brand new one that's come out?
Nope.
Yeah, see? There's a brand new navy one come out for next year for the away one, and it's really nice with gold trim and stuff like that, and you had to order it online. I think it comes in August, I think.
All
But you
right.
should check it out. I'll show you it after.
All right. Good man.
Yeah, really nice it is.
How
So,
many
how are you?
photos? What, you've been digging deep in them photos, have you?
Yeah, always dig deep, buddy.
My sister came in last night and thought that Ben was on there last night. She said,
Oh,
I see a photo of Ben. I went, no, that was me.
Honestly, I literally looked at it and I was like, that looks like Ben. That looks like Ben. There's Ben, look.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Everywhere. Oh, yeah, like I said, as soon as I said to
you're
you
up
earlier
here
when we was on the
this now,
phone.
you can just blip it. Last time we did this, it was just a voiceover, no video or nothing.
No, it's all gone up in the world now.
Well, now you're in the big time, Mr. Commentator.
Yeah, big time in my spare room in Swindon.
Well, I don't know. You've done pretty well. Looking at the comments from the motocross boys, reading them, because you get very bored sat in the truck when you're tipping a 40-foot container all handball, and you end up flicking back through, and you got some very, very good, worthy comments too. Well done.
Oh, thanks, mate. Trying to represent Swindon like yourself.
Get retired, I am.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Right.
I thought you might.
Evening, you legend, from Darren Keylock.
Thank you, Darren. Evening.
Not sure who that is, but he said this should be a good laugh with Roscoe. That's the plan.
Oh dear.
Hi, Lee. I'm watching on holiday in Lanzarote. So
all right for some, isn't it?
yeah. Mr. Dave Norris is on. Barney Kennett said, "Can you say hello to Roscoe?" He said, "Can you say hello to Roscoe as well?" Barney Kennett.
Barney Superstick Kennett.
Yeah, selfie man. Mr. Norris, look, hi fellas. I will stay in the background, being full of Swindon fans.
We love you, Floppy. You're a legend.
Yes. Yeah,
I'll tell you a great story before we start. Floppy,
go for it.
live on Sky, the best. I had everybody rolling. And I think he just got a maximum, like he used to always max out at Eastbourne. You either got it or you didn't get it. And I think my highest score around there was for Kings Lynn. I had the flattest, worst engine ever. I think I scored 11, paid 13. I don't think I ever did that again. I just couldn't get around the place. But Floppy, he was on Sky, and I think it might have been Susie Perry, and I always never forget it. And they were interviewing him, and he said, "Oh, well, you've had a good night tonight. Good pay packet for you tonight." He said, "Yeah, it'd be good." He said, "I can get onto the next catalogue now and order some more clothes." He said. Right on Sky, live on Sky, yeah.
Live
I can
on
get
Sky.
on Next and order some new clothes from
That's
Next.
brilliant.
I can't complain. I must admit, I'm a walking catalogue for Next still, at the ripe old age of me.
Yeah, like a little bit next if you can. I'm more like pre-mark type of thing, Roscoe.
Get out of here. My daughter, she don't bother cleaning her clothes. She just wears them 2 or 3 times, bins it, and goes down to Primark and buys again. Her bedroom's like 6 foot high in clothes and everything.
Sounds like my mum, Roscoe. She's probably on watching as well. She goes, "I'm going to come on and tell Roscoe about that. I used to bounce him on my knee and that in the bar."
Yeah, it was with Barry Briggs, June Briggs, Brenda Ashby. all them back in the day, in the little snug bar.
Yeah. And then even when I was Chris Louis came down to our reunion too at Culham and had a ride, he come up in our commentary booth for a while, which was a bit weird for me as well, because obviously you know how I put you like on a pedestal and all that, which you told me to stop doing. Yeah, he was in there for ages and chatting, and I said that my mum said exactly the same about him. Apparently she's been on his knee. I was like, Jesus Christ, Mum. Is there anyone that ain't been on your knee?
As long as it's on her knee. But she could get away with it. It'd be a bit of a worry if it was a bloke.
Oh, got Jack, my stepson. He's just come on. He's obviously having the party at your place, joint birthday party. He's put, tell Roscoe we're going to book the DJ for our party.
Oh, you're going to do it. That's good. Unfortunately, our DJ is seriously ill, so.
Oh, is he? Sorry,
we haven't got an in-house DJ at the moment.
So that's all right to sort that out then.
Yeah, crack on with that. As long as you've got pack tests, make sure they got pack test.
Okay, so you got to make sure they got a pack test, Jack.
All the things.
And this is supposed to be pleasure tonight, not business as well, Jack. So if you can keep off the. There he is. Evening, Roscoe. Barney's just said.
Evening, Barney. How are you, you legend?
Absolute proper.
He brightens up your day, doesn't he? When you.
Oh, he does, mate. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It's Kevin Barnett, the most popular man on the British Speedway.
Worst. Oh, I got a good one to tell you, Roscoe, actually, about Kev.
Oh, yeah,
so you might have known that he was like used to do obviously the refereeing. He did like the Wilts Prem when we were in it, and I think Hellenic and a few things anyway. So of course, we was at reunion 2. Me and Kev were doing the commentary. We had the best commentary tower ever at Culham. It was amazing. And then like you could see all the crowd of people in front of us, and I spotted Kev. So I was like, oh my God, everyone, I've just spotted the worst referee in the whole of Wiltshire. Absolutely ruined him. Everyone was staring.
To be fair, he did one of our games and he's very good. And it was for our kids, so the under 16s, and he did that. He did very good. He was a bit things obviously he did a higher standard because it like North Wilts and different leagues sort of thing. But I have heard rumours that he wasn't a bad referee in his day. He can't drink for toffee, let me tell you.
Don't tell him that online, Jesus.
No, he's terrible, mate. You should have seen every time he falls over and smashes his head every time. And then he gets brave on the Speedway Friends today. He was moaning about Phil Morris and everybody. Like, Kev, banged your head again.
Is he having a few drinks? Was he getting Larry on there?
Oh, he gets Larry everywhere, like, and then he just smiles.
Oh, he just actually said, tell Roscoe I'm at his bar trying to get a drink.
Well, my barman and a servant. I'm in the luxury of my upstairs kitchen because my daughter and grandson are in the living room and it's like a mess and it was only cleaned yesterday. So come out here in the peace of quiet tranquility of the kitchen.
Looks like Scott Chappell's high owl still can't get a decent haircut.
Scott, I used to cut my mate. I used to travel. That was another good story. When I moved back to Swindon from Poole, and I used to live there, I used to travel down, go down to Poole, get a haircut, and drive straight back to Swindon. He used to be based up in Parkstone. One of the best around. He used to cut all the celebs' hairs at the showground when they would do pantomime and stuff like that. Les Dennis. Some bloke called John Davis used to go there. Midlow used to go there, but he got no hair left now, has he? So he don't need to.
He just has a little shimmer of shade.
He'll probably tell you what the many stars over the years.
Let us know, Scott. Name drop some names for us, Scott, in the comments. Frank Sorensen.
It was funny enough. Which tracks have you been riding in Denmark? Ooh, I've written in a few. Bloody hell, it was a while back now.
Was it?
Yeah.
How many years are we talking?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Denmark. I've done a few. I've done a couple of them. I can't think off the top of my head. I'll rattle my brain and I'll get back.
Okay. We'll try and come back to you on that, Frank. Mr. McConnell.
The last official race at Swindon with the Mad Dog.
Love that.
Oh,
Love that.
what a cool guy. One of the nicest guys. Sam Martin. He caught with all of the grey hair and the beard. Now he looks like Sam Martin, the actor.
So you call
It used to be
is that what you call it? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Still riding now, ain't you, Sean? Proper, Sean, you don't mess around.
I keep seeing I see the boys, Steve Evans.
Yeah.
Mum's trying to ring me now.
Speak to her live.
No, I ain't. Yes, Sean, I get a lot of the stuff from the American. Steve Evans tags me in a lot of stuff, and he's doing quite good over there now at the moment. It's good to see.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Is you sure she ain't got a question for you?
It's great to see Schwartzy still riding and people like that. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, they're like endless, aren't they? They're like Peter Pan.
Remember that wheelie in the one at the Monster one when Sean come in the corner and he picked up in the thing and he lifted his front wheel over Billy Hamill's back mudguard.
Yeah.
Mate, one hell of a talented motorcyclist is Sean McConnell.
Yeah.
If you watch that, you've got to have a look at that. Look at it'd be on YouTube.
I'll try and check that out. Yeah, I'll check that out. Then.
Amazing,
check that.
Amazing.
Because I remember me and Lee Kilby when we were really young in the 80s. I remember Sean McConnell, sort of one of the ones I first remember doing wheelies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the Americans were the Flair boys, weren't they, back in the day?
Yeah.
You know, Bruce, Siggy, and like Siggy would like pick the wheel up, and he was the one that then turned his front wheel to the left. Yeah. Most people would turn it to the right, give it like that. No, Siggy would just turn it that way. He was what a hero, what a great rider he was too.
Yeah, I'm doing one with him soon as well, so you have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he's a good man, Dennis.
Yes. Mr. Norris, I always followed your lead on speaking your mind, Roscoe. Unfortunately, my mind had no filter.
Well, I did that for a while, and then I had to realise that sometimes you just got to think before you say something. At times, towards the end of the time in it, because it just. The trouble is, I find that if you speak the truth, and it was like the late great Colin Pratt, gained so much respect for just being honest with people and basically saying, but people didn't like it. That was the problem. It's the same with me. You say it as it is, and people get that. Here he is. What a legend he was.
Yeah,
he was such a massive help to me.
Yeah.
When I went to Coventry, he made me from the raw Roscoe, the Roscoe that was trying to win league titles with Swindon before I went to Coventry.
Yeah.
I had too much passion. Whilst I was sticking up for the riders, it's like people going on moaning about Nicky, but I thought Nicky was rather professional in what he did. Like me, I'll be going off in the deep end and stuff like that. But Colin, filed them rough edges off me, and massive part. It made me, we won that one in 2010, then 12, then 17, and then 19. But that, I credit a lot of that down to Colin. Absolute gentleman. But like I say, he had the respect of all the top riders because he would say it as it is. And he used to rattle all of when it was a BSPA, you'd go to meetings, people would moan about him, but only because he was telling the truth. People don't like telling the truth, unfortunately, nowadays. You see
I've got Simon Lee. He's put evening Roscoe, Newport Wasps fan here, and Team GB, obviously.
I remember going to Newport towards the end of my career and got down there, had a good meeting, the track was shocking, and all of a sudden I come out of the pits, and I think I just had Grace at the time. And some nice person had kindly drilled 4 holes in the sidewall of my van.
No way.
Yeah, Tim Stone always denied it, but I think he was behind it at the time.
Wow.
Fair play to the Swindon fans. They all helped me, and they had a whip round, and they helped me towards it, But yeah, it wasn't just cut; it was just drilled. Where are you going to get a battery drill from? Think about it. Not the brightest of people at times. Some people are like, and go, oh no, somebody just must have gone down. And he just sat there, Big Tim at the time, smug as anything, and he would look there like that, and just, I knew it was down to it was things he didn't like, criticism I gave him.
Wow, that's a bit out of order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Kev reckons you got the best Guinness at Southbrook.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. We've got accreditation for our Guinness. It's pretty damn good, and been known to knock a few back.
I'm gonna have to come down and have a bit more drink again. I love a shandy.
Well, at the moment, I've just come back from Lisbon. I did the trip on the Harry Styles tour, driving the rigs, and we took them from Lisbon through Spain into France and then into Italy and Genoa for his last one. And it was pretty good.
Mr. Jonathan Kemp just said hi. Ask Alan how he's doing.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good.
Not sure he's put legend there because I can't see their name, but
I was saying when I just come back from Colin, I was on this tour, and one of the drivers, he was hard to crack. One of the other drivers, because there's about 40 odd lorries over there, and this old boy was sat next to him, and just chatting away, and he's talking Speedway, and all of a sudden he went from being a bit frosty to, do you know? He said, I used to live next door to a Speedway rider. I said, oh yeah, who's that then? Where you live? He said, Colin Richardson.
No way.
So I text Colin. Colin texted me back that night. Ever since then, he added me on Facebook and everything. Gone from being a bit frosty.
It's your best mate now.
How people open doors.
Oh, hello.
You know?
What's happened to you there? Oh, you went off then?
You must have pressed the button.
No, I didn't. Press the button, yeah.
I got brand new Wi-Fi now, so I shouldn't have no troubles here.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Is that the super fast now, is it?
Yeah, well, I think it is anyway. I don't know. I don't use it. I just use it like my kids are the ones when they moan. And then just before they go to bed, like just pull the plug out. Oh my God, you want to see the raucous in the house then when you pull the plug out? Dad! What's going on? Dad? The internet's down.
It's like the world's ended.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Proper.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that is. I need to maybe have a look on some of these comments because some of these people are not registered the thing, and see, because I can see it if I go on my Facebook.
I got banned from a Speedway site for naming and shaming Tim Stone for that. Yeah, you're right. Because he never did. The worst thing about it was he never denied it. He just kept smug at me, smiling. He never said a word. Afterwards, when I went up, I went right into his face. He didn't deny it, didn't do nothing. God rest his soul now. Move on. You know, is what it is, you know. But at the time, I was pretty savage because I'd literally had my daughter. It's back in 2002, my last season at Speedway.
Right, okay, yeah. Well, that was one of the guys that said evening guys was Mark Flatman. I think that's Nigel's brother.
Oh, yeah.
Going to try and get him on as well. So that was Catherine that said got banned from Speedway site. She's on there defending you.
She's another one that engages mouth before brain.
Yeah. She's like that. I'll say what we need to say.
Yeah, there's no half pints there. They're all full.
No, I can see this is looking on my thing. It's Matt Stevens who's involved with all the Reading stuff. He's just put, "Hi Roscoe, who has been the best rider you have managed?"
Managed. Ooh.
Oh,
that's a good one. That I've had a few. I've had some good riders over the years. Lee was pretty good, very good.
Yeah.
Jace, obviously, I didn't think I managed Jason. I don't think I did I?
You had a good relationship with him, though, didn't you? In general.
Yeah, no, we're still very close now. Me and Jason, he rings me up. I always remember. We used to share a garage when my house that I've got in Stratton. There used to be me and him. That was the night at Arena Essex. That one, I'd had a crash. And like trying to go for it to win the league in that race, ended up wiping out all their fences at Arena Essex. It all just collapsed. And then I think Boise went on and won it the next race. I was going to say we won the league there, 1994. Nice. But yeah, Jason, we used to share a single garage, and Jason being Jason used to drive, Germany and everything. We used to do the bikes. We had about 8 or 9 bikes in a single garage with a bench. So what we'd have to do, put all the bikes in the van, clean it, and sort of double up in the garage, like. But no, we stayed friends, and another story with Jason, like he was travelling from Newcastle up to Brisbane, and he literally was on the phone for 5 hours driving. When old boyo gets on the phone, you can't get him off that phone, Jason.
I've spoke to him recently. I spoke to him on WhatsApp the other day because I was trying to get him to. He's going to come on for me, so
that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
No, Jason, I was good friends with Lee, but things were more personal with Jason.
Yeah,
there was a difference. Like Lee, there was always that distant. It was a line, but even they were excellent friends. Don't get me wrong. But Jason, there was a lot more personal stuff involved. But he was good to. He was excellent, good captain.
Yeah.
He was just Mr. Consistent. He was just. And Lee Richardson, another guy that used to get on road, was really good.
Yeah.
Another great rider and a good friend too. He was.
Yeah. Very good, talented rider. I've got Dave Manda. He's just put. He's not on the thing, so I couldn't see his name. But I've just looking on here. He's put, "What gave you the most satisfaction, riding or management, and why?"
Management. I think the year we beat Paul for Coventry in 2010.
Yeah.
Because I think it was labelled the year of discontent. And bearing in mind, I'd been trying so hard with Swindon since 2000. Was it 2004? I think I started at Swindon, and I'd hit the crossbar, got to the finals, missed. And the fact that we were 26 points at the end, we were 26 points behind Paul in the final.
Yeah.
At the end of the season when all the thing was there, but in between that, I rebuilt the team again.
Yeah.
Made some big changes. I dropped Rory Schlein, brought Casper Zach in. It was another one that, if you treat him right, it's a lot of them, like people moan about Troy Batchelor. It seems to me I'm the only one that's got the best out of Troy Batchelor. It's how you deal with them. And believe me, I made some mistakes early days. Jonas Davidson was a classic one. Like him and Mads in the team. Mads, you could give him the right rollicking. And I did it with Jonas one night at Swindon. But Jonas was the opposite one that needed the arm around the shoulder.
Yeah.
Big mistake by me then. And like that was a bad move. But you got again, it was a learning curve. It's just knowing some people you can, like Mads, you could give them, what are you doing? You're messing about. Give them a good old rollicking, Mads. Trying to be polite, because you don't know who's watching. But Jonas, he was the opposite. You needed to put an arm. Come on, mate. What can we do? Going right. And that's what I should have done. But it was a learning curve. But that's one sort of thing. But the 2010 was a good one, and obviously 12 to get the monkey off the Swindon's back. 45 years of waiting.
That was mega, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Did that feel like a relief as well as obviously a celebration thing, but obviously a bit of a relief as well because everyone just keep going on about it?
Oh, every week we haven't won the league since 2000.
67, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it.
67.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Buried the ghost of 67.
I remember,
and that was the sheer raw emotion coming out of me when I started, blubbering like an idiot.
No, that was good. That was good, mate. That was. I could see you were Swindon through and through. That was good. That was good. I've just got Duncan Pemberton here. It's just put Alan, Team GB this Saturday. Brennan in for Ellis? ? Or would you go with Ellis? And do you reckon we got a win incoming? Sorry.
I've been watching this week, and I got to say I'm quite embarrassed by all the comments. England cruised to a victory, and people are on there questioning one rider. And I see, and no slight on any of the other riders that didn't make the team, and I see there's a couple of riders getting vocal that why are they not there? different ball game. What you score in England, it's not even close to what you're doing out on them big tracks of Poland. That Wrocław track is one of the most unforgiving tracks in the world. And I was lucky, for me, we'll talk about that. Remind me to talk about that one later. But that Wrocław track is unforgiving. You need it. You've got 4 riders there, 5 riders. Tom, up and coming, still learning his trade, doing exceptionally well. But 100% Adam Ellis, without a shadow of a doubt. You've got 4 riders on Ashley Holloway's equipment, and that's not bias or nothing. But Ashley's in Poland, setups there all the time, knows it.
Yeah,
these guys
makes sense. Yeah,
they're on the fringes and that. That you put them over there, they wouldn't live with it. The speed is like completely different. And the bike's a completely different setup as well.
We've seen that in the past, haven't we? We've seen that in the past as well.
You know, you get over there and you're not even on the pace. You know, and you know, these guys have all them top 4 have got setups in Poland and everything. And I just think, I know that some of the guys ride as well. A couple of them ride over there, but I do believe Adam, by his standards, is not having the best of season this year. Probably his slowest start to a season in a long time. But he's a very talented and a guy that gives 100% and will give it all. And I just think, me personally, they've got the best 4 in there with Tom there, learning the curb. Whether there's somebody again, going back to 2000, I got berated. People are calling for Bomber to be in there. Now, I got berated for taking Bomber to Russia. And then we're 4 years down the line and people are still saying put Bomber in.
Yeah.
You know, them 4 guys race in Poland every week in, week out. And they've got the same tuner. I guarantee all 4 of them engines, they'll all be set up different for different style of riding and everything, but they'll be, you know, the best chance that we've got. And I believe that the Ollie and Simon have got the call spot on.
Yep, fair play. I got Mr Norris just put GB never had an Ashley Holloway figure before, so great finally see GB with a professional pit.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Peter Johns for many years was smashing it in Poland, everywhere, all over the world. But tuners are like cycles. At the moment, Kowalski seems to be the boy. You know, this when you look on the side of an engine, there's an SK. It's a guy called Kowalski in Poland. All like Smarslik, all of the top boys over there. Like, you know, they're on his equipment. And at the moment, he's got something that's right. Peter Johns, for many years, had many world champions and an exceptional engineer. His cycles is just getting that lucky break and finding something that works there. Like Johnsy's building his own billet head at the moment and everything. So I just think he'll come back round again, because I noticed in Poland, when you look at some of the meetings and that, I noticed quite a few of the Polish riders are riding this stuff in Poland. But at the moment, Kowalski, I mean, Brian Carger's doing well with Liam
Just about to say Brian Carger. How's he getting
doing
on?
well with things. You've got Dan Bewley, Ty Wolfenden, you've got Robert Lambert, all on Ashley's gear. You've got Jamin Lindsay. Was it Jamon, as Kelvin would say?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jamon.
But, you know, Jamin had a good meeting on Ashley's equipment yesterday. Look, really quick from the start. So Ashley's up there with them. But say Ashley, Kowalski, it's like a rat race. Like, 1 minute you're there, then you go down there, and you know, many a time Ash should be on the phone, like, you know, totally depressed. And I said, Ash, it'll come round, and it has done, and you know, and he's doing exceptionally well. And you know, GB are lucky; they've got him in the pit corner, and I think the 4 boys are all on new engines over there for this thing. And again, new engines don't necessarily. You can build 4 new engines, and 1 out of the 4 could be the best. The others could be just for some reason identical, but they just don't work. Floppy will tell you that.
Yeah. So they're, like you said, they're always searching anyway, aren't they? And like you said, it goes round in circles, and then they go back to basics of something. And because I suppose they get lost at times in the setups, and almost have
Well,
to
no,
go
it's
back to
all
your
about the
basic.
cams. It's the cams are the big things on the engine and how it's ported. And so, I mean, I was never, technically, but from obviously speaking with Ashley, it's all about the porting, how the way different ports, different cams, and that, So you like say you got Ashley, you got Kowalski, you got Karga. Have I missed anybody? You got that BV from Holland, Jason Doyle and Emil's on at the moment.
Emil's going well, hasn't he?
Yeah, exceptionally well. Exceptionally well.
What do you think about? I was like thinking about this the other day when I was watching the GP and everything. It looks like because Woofy was sort of saying about he thinks he had the best bikes, this and that, but he seems to be struggling at the moment in the GP. I know they're always all chasing setups all the time, but yeah.
Well, the trouble is with a Grand Prix, you've only got. I've obviously gone to quite a few. I've been with Emil, been with Bomber over the years.
Yeah.
And you go into these meetings, and you've only got 5 races.
Yeah.
To make it happen. And by the time you find something, it's too late. That's the problem. You can practice all you like, but sometimes I think sometimes some of the riders overcomplicate stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going when I was invited when Emil asked me to go for the last Grand Prix in Torrin, where he finished runners up. He had a chance for winning it, but he just went back to basics in the end. We did just sat there, discussed things, went over, and actually went up a gear instead of down a gear. But the trouble is, I think a lot of these boys now put so many small cogs on. I just think they need, and I know Ashley's a big adversary of it, is that they don't need to go so small. I think they need. The trouble is, when you've got such small, you've got the speed at the end of the straight, but then it takes that long to build up again. By the time you're at the end of the straight, it's too late. You've lost all your revs again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And that was a big thing. I think some of the riders just literally just go way too small. And some, the bigger gears do work. Carburetion's a big thing as well. Massive thing.
Is it like the thing now? Obviously, where these engines now just obviously rev out to the world, rev out to a different planet, and obviously the tracks are generally quite slick and stuff like that. Is it more of a fine line now to get a decent set than it was when it was not so much like that and a bit more dirt or shale, as you want to put it?
Well, not talking about the GP riders, but now where the tracks are so slick now, there's no skill in it. There's no skill no more. Anybody, I mean, at my age, I could go on the tracks, on some of these tracks, they're that slick. I could still go around and do 4 laps flat out on it.
Yeah.
A little bit of dirt, but then there's a fine line, and everybody criticises. Well, put more dirt on, put more. What everybody's forgot about is they've all forgot the bikes have all progressed from when I rode. If I still had the same mentality of going, well, that worked for me, then try that, I wouldn't be in the job for 5 minutes. But
you've got to go.
For me, the biggest problem is, and I did speak to Phil Morris about it, is that I feel that they forgot the one thing, and that is like Swindon, the tracks. They forgot the tracks. They everything, the engines and the equipment, everything is all, and the professionalism is all stepped up to another level, like to a proper level. But the tracks have gone backwards. In fact, some of the tracks now, the bikes have outgrown the tracks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So the bikes and trying to get the right sort of shale and then, but everybody should work together. It's like Bellevue. I remember because we were the home team, we didn't. When we were in Manchester in 2016, was it 16, 17? Because we were the home team. We were things. So we watched the race off on the Thursday. It rained, and at Bellevue, you got 5 of the best riders in the world from each country.
Yeah.
They make a start. Everyone's to put dirt on. Yeah, you put dirt around the outside. The good guys get on it, put their back wheel on the edge of the dirt. Goodbye. It's just it will just be follow the leader, but it needs to be consistent from the inside to the out. Now, there needs to be a committee of some sort to work on the track and work for not just Bellevue, not just for Swindon, not just for Wolverhampton. There's got to be a procedure put in the place to work on the on the shale surface of getting it. And I know the Grand Prix people are working behind the scenes on trying to get the right sort of thing, especially for the indoor tracks.
So like a consistent standard where it's always the same, like.
Yeah, it's all the same, but good. It binds together. It doesn't break up. Because you're putting these tracks down. It's like Swindon. It took a couple of months for it to, bed in and settle down. But once it settled in, it was an amazing track. Again, Swindon, like the old track with the new technology and the bikes, outgrown it. It outgrew the track. Now you had a shorter track, but wider. But the amount of lines are like, I think for me, the most exciting ride around Swindon back in 2000 was Rasmus Jensen. Inside, outside. The was the same. They didn't make the start. They'd hunt them down, and there were so many lines.
Yeah, I had a question down to actually ask you about that, the old Swindon shape in the new one. So you just answered it there, but it definitely was good racing, wasn't it? Those like last
the new
few
track.
years.
People rave about Bellevue, and it's not me being biased. Bellevue is fantastic, but the new Swindon track, when it was right, it was right up there with as good as Bellevue, or I'm not going to say it was better because Bellevue is fantastic, but I would say on a level it is as good as any racetrack around.
Yeah, definitely
because it was so wide, and you had lines that you could go in tight. Especially the homeboys got the advantage knowing where to go up wide. You get the guys that chase the dirt, the other guys that could work the slick.
Yeah. Where before you just literally got on the outside and that was it.
The new track was amazing. All it just needed was just a little bit more banking, just a tad more, not too much, because otherwise, again, you'll end up going in it, gone, and you won't catch them.
Yeah. Here we go, Roscoe. We've got Marvin Cox. I'm doing one with him soon. He's put evening, Roscoe. My old buddy, he's put Chopper.
Yeah, rode with Marvin at Poole for a few years. We had some good times. Another classy motorcyclist, Marvin Cox. Absolutely brilliant. Really good, grass track, long track, speedway. His equipment was always immaculate. It was the best around, and hard rider too. Give you a good race. Never dirty, but hard but fair. But a classy rider Cocker was over the years.
I remember some bloody good races with him at Swindon with Lee Adams when Lee was young as well. They had some bloody good races round about early 90s, I reckon, 92, something like that. Yeah, had some good races. I remember them. I'm getting him on soon, and we've been chasing up and digging on the photos like I did for you as well. So hopefully we'll get that soon as well.
Yeah.
Right, let's get literally there's hundreds of comments on there already. Holy shit. We've just been chatting away. Jesus Christ. But anyway, let's get into that first. So what have you been up to since obviously Swindon closed down? What have you been up to since then? I think most people know that you do the lorry drive.
Well, basically, obviously, I run a pub in Swindon, the Southbrook Inn. It's a bit like a farmhouse pub, but it's in the suburbs. Because back in the day, instead of all these houses that are around us, around Ferndale area, these were just fields, and now they're just full of houses. So people come in, and people still don't know we're here. And when they see the old farmhouse pub, I'm surprised you haven't got a photo of it on there.
I actually did have a photo of you with the missus and thing, and I'm looking for it. And it's
but that's the front. You want the whole one.
Oh, yeah, the actual whole thing. Yeah.
It's an old.
It is really nice. Yeah.
It's an old milking. Back in the day, the cows used to come in and get milked in there because in the roof there's like old radiator covered over it, boxed in. And the cows used to sit under there and used to warm when they were getting milked.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically,
History.
I was running the pub until the famous COVID came along, and here I am. I'm a franchise. I'm not a manager. A franchise is basically the bills are paid, but you have to pay the staff. We pay the staff, so had to set up a company.
Yeah,
and that was fine. People say, "Well, you're laughing. You're not fat." But trouble is, when the till's not chinging, there's nothing coming in.
Yeah.
So the one thing that's I've got to say over the years that saved me, what I used to always do, I used to still work and ride.
Yeah.
Driving me truck. I've driven me truck since I was like I passed my test at 21. You know, and I've basically just the pub. My son's football team, Ben, Stratton Juniors. He last year was under 15s. He's up to under 16s, and he's the oldest kid in the school. 1st of September, and he's hoping to move on with the development with Stratton this year. He's out training tonight, and he played a game a couple of weeks ago and really surprised me. He wasn't fazed by the big lads because there's a mixture of youngsters and older people, players in it, in this development league.
Yeah.
And he's a goalkeeper, and he certainly got no fear. And people always ask why did he not bother. But the thing is, Speedway is not a cheap thing to do, and you've got to have the commitment and dedication. And the trouble is with Ben, he's never really showed me. I said I would have been quite happy to let him have a go.
Yeah.
But he never showed me the commitment that you needed to do it, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
So much going on there.
You could have got away with stuff, but now if you're not committed for doing Speedway professionally now, you'll get found out in minutes now.
Yeah.
So driving trucks, running the kids' football team, and as you well know, the vets team as well. Like you're saying that vets at 35.
Yeah. Not sure about that one.
No.
40 plus, maybe.
Cool.
45
so,
plus.
Still got plenty going on in my life, which is quite enjoyable.
You see the pub there, look.
That's the one.
There you go. There's the Southbrook Inn. It's very picturesque around there. I just went and picked Poppy up from the Ferndale school where she does her dance in there every week. So I would like always do a little U-turn there. It does still looks a nice.
Just had all the trees cut down as well, so it's like really bright and light. You know, like it's not been done for so many years. And look, neighbours are complaining like light was blocked, so they've really gone to town this last couple of weeks and like sorry, it's the wrong word to say, cut down professionally and done it. Looks so much better and brighter now. And I think if we do eventually get any sun this year, the garden is amazing out there. So
and somewhere at Roscoe as well. Me and Jamie actually played for the Southbrook, but when it was in the Wiltshire League days, and I've got a trophy somewhere saying most exciting player for me at the Southbrook. Ooh. Like a trophy, Roscoe.
Love a trophy.
Love a trophy. Right. So let's get into this question. Let's get the Swindon thing that everyone wants to know out of the way first.
$1 million question.
He's not going to ask him. He ain't going to ask him. I've already been seeing comments on everything going, he won't ask him that, and he won't say nothing, and all this and whatever. So
why wouldn't you? It's a poignant question, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously Swindon as it is, I went past the other day. I went to the Robbins Farm pub up there and stuff like that. See like quite a lot of the stadiums sort of coming together and all the noise barrier things all around the corners and all that. So as it stands at the moment, is there still like no chance of the Speedway going back there? What is the latest, and what do you know about it as it stands?
To be honest, up until about 3 or 4 months ago, it was like nothing's changed. I've had a few messages and that, but the biggest problem for me and Lee, because whilst Terry and Steve Parker, the owner, they're not the front of Swindon Speedway. No. Terry lives in Kent, Steve lives in Marlborough, so they're out of the way. They're the ones who don't get nailed every time you go into a pub or go somewhere or get a message on Facebook, this, that, and the other, what's happening with the Speedway. So first, but the problem is we don't own the rights. Terry is the current owner at the moment. Okay. So until anything changes like that, we can't do nothing. It's not our business. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. I'm frustrated to hell, believe me. Yeah. And Lee I don't know whether Lee would be watching. Lee is exactly the same. You know, at the end of the day, is the council have made Swindon Speedway build the stand. It was meant to be purposely built for not purpose built, but for Speedway in.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Basically, the council have stuck to their word.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Gaming International own that land, and the council can't force them to let you run Speedway there. That's the problem. But the council, I think Gaming It will quite openly say they don't want a new grandstand. They don't need all this stuff for what they want for dogs.
Yeah.
They don't want it, but they own the land. So we're kind of stuck. So really,
bizarre, isn't it?
The bottom line is, if I'm totally honest, we need to move on from them lot.
Yep.
And it needs a good load of supporters, and everything is hit the council, find us some land, because I'm confident that we could get people that would be more than willing to do it. But you know, it's people ask me, and I'm going to be totally honest now, and I'll probably shoot myself in the foot here, why I'm not involved with the motorsports group, is that there's a company on there. It was brought to my attention that have been quite brutal with the Coventry stuff, and obviously because I rode for Coventry, team managed them, I just felt I had to distance myself from it because you know it's common knowledge now. People know the company and that, and they're involved in motorsport. So I just me and Lee. I said to Lee, I'm pulling out, and next minute Lee did the same. And I just think we need to move on from them now. Is unfortunately the stadium is now. If I'm totally honest, I think again, I'm being me. I think they've got it. They've got the land, but you know how many cars park up there.
Yeah.
The car park's half the size now.
Yeah,
with
I see that.
There. You get, you know, it's right. Justin Thompson says you've got a purposely built track. The track is still there in fantastic shape. Still wouldn't take long to get that up, no problem. But you start cars there. It's not like football where you've got they got a little car park there, which mainly is for people, sponsors and stuff, and that not the thing. But they park all around the place. But the stadium area in Blunsdon, you start getting people that turn up parking across people's drives. It wouldn't take long, and it will just be total utter carnage. It needs to be the council. It's down to the council really to help us find it, because there is a call for Speedway in Swindon. I don't care what anybody says. There is a call, but I think it's got to a position where they've got it and they know the fact that Speedway couldn't return because the amount of cars, because you get so many people travel up from Wales, from Somerset, Exeter, all over the Midlands. They all come, and the teams that travel. The chance that we could have had possibly would have been the park and ride. I'm led to believe now there's a motor car company want to build a place there, and at the moment Amazon are using it.
Yeah, I just see that.
That would have been the only saving grace. I'm just being honest. I don't see a way back at Swindon purely because there's not enough parking. So it needs to be a campaign to get the council to work hard to find us somewhere. And I'm sure that they keep saying there's no land. I'm sure if they tried hard enough, they could find it. And I think it could. And it couldn't just be for Speedway. Let's make that clear.
Something for multi-sports. Yeah.
Multi-sports, a football pitches in the middle, everything that's used on a regular thing, not just for one sport only.
Could be like a gym and maybe a casino, all sorts of things you could do, couldn't you? To like a
the potentials there is for everything, but it just needs, once this year is over and out of the way, is to be a big push for the council, a campaign for the council to find us a plot, and I'm pretty confident we could find somebody that will come along and invest in it.
Yeah, interesting. So that's basically be technically sort of starting another totally different company then, because obviously Terry still owns the rights of Swindon Robbins or whatever you want to call
it. I think you have it for so long if the company's non-running.
Okay. Right,
but
okay.
As I see it, I don't, unfortunately, sad as it is, fantastic track, that new track. I don't see us going, if I'm being honest, I don't see us going back there purely because of the parking logistics there. Yeah. And soon as people start parking down the streets on a race night, parking across somebody's drive, there'll be uproar and then there'll be complaints. We never got no complaints. They had more complaints from the Dogs Tannoy system than they did from the Speedway. They knew it's there. It's been there since 1949, but it's just got swallowed up. As whilst there was no complaints from the Speedway, people accept it, and when they bought it, they were told there's a motorsport stadium there. They were aware of it, but it wouldn't take long, and eventually you plough all your money into it, and then just get it shut down just like that. Which, unfortunately, nowadays that's what people do.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is, but someone's just put evening Liam Roscoe. Martin Smith just put, I'd have thought part of the old Honda site would have been ideal away from the houses with the test track area that's there.
That's the thing, but again, there's a big company that's bought it, and there's lots of stuff of talk about big Tesco distribution centre going in there and everything and stuff like that. Again, who knows? I think, but at the moment we don't own the rights, so we can't do nothing. Still owned by Terry at the present time. Once that changes, then we can all move forward.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that then. Derek Harrison. I remember my mum telling me that because my dad rode at Milton Keynes, and I think Malcolm did and stuff. She told me that Derek was one of my favourite.
Peterborough. I thought Peterborough and Boston Barracudas. I think. Remember? Am I right, Derek?
There you go, Derek. Is that right as well?
I wouldn't say I mean, believe me, I do get frustrated because obviously I've been a promoter since 2004, and you see these things that they're killing it, they're doing that. Well, for me, from the outside now, where I've stepped back and looking in, the biggest problem with Speedway promoters is their money, their livelihoods. Then they put the money on the line. Their necks. There's been many a promoter gone, lost their houses, lost everything through the love of it, doing it for the love of it.
Yeah.
There is quite a few successful. There are still a lot of successful clubs out there, but the biggest problem we don't own the land, own the stadiums. You've lost your Somersets.
Yeah.
That tells you a story in its own right.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good as well.
They but people annoy me when they go like, I think, but the problem is, my humble opinion, it does need an independent governing body. But the problem is, try telling that to these people that own it, that own the clubs, that put their necks on the line, their houses on the line, and the stuff they just keep. They're doing it for the love, a lot of them. But that needs to change. They need to step back, let somebody do it, and do it for the right reasons. Again, Terry was hard but fair. But Terry, like the year we lost Doyley, they changed his average to 12 points. So they had to make a decision: do I bring the world champion back when he won the title? He was a Swindon rider. But the year after, he was away at Somerset. And Somerset were getting all the things from off of Jason Dawg. But we had to make a decision. Do we go with a 12-point rider and you end up with a good top three and then a very weak tail? That's how you build teams. And we basically got shafted over Doyley. Yeah. And that's the problem. People could see us cleaning up the following year if they didn't change Jason's average. And we could have put out a very competitive side that year. We just missed out that year. But that's the problem. That self-interest in there is, for me, and I haven't been in there for a little while, but I still hear snippets, and I still think that is one of the biggest problems. Self-interest. It needs to be taken away from them. You need somebody in there, needs somebody totally focus. I mean, they've dragged Phil in. Phil ain't going to do. People are
just about to ask about Phil. Yeah.
Where's the old holy saviour Phil Morris? Gee whiz, he's only just come in this year, and only came in what, end of February or something like that. It's going to take a while. It's not just going to happen just like that. But you're going in the right direction of someone like him, who's got the respect in the Grand Prix from the top riders, from Smarslake down. He takes no rubbish from none of them. He actually takes no crap. Says it. Another one says it as it is. These are the rules. This is your buy. But no matter who you are, back in the day, Greg Hancock, Jason Crump, all these people, it didn't matter. Phil was the leader of it, and I've got to say he's done a fantastic job, Phil.
Yeah, I've spoken to him.
But he's not gonna turn it around. I see people always are the big saviour, Phil Morris. Well, it's not going to happen just like that. It's gonna take time, and I still go back. It needs an independent body, but trying to get the owners to give up their little bit of power that they've got, because it's their money invested in the sport.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's a bit, people used to slag Terry Russell off and like moan that he used to get a percentage of the Sky fee, but Terry's the only one that's brought something in of that £1 million figure for 5 years. Nobody's got, everybody's got an opportunity to go out there and find that. Terry found it. So you're just going to say, like, oh, yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye. He worked for that and got it.
Yeah. That was a big thing as well for Spear as well, wasn't it, to bring the TV in? 5
years at £1 million a time. But again, you can blame the promoters 100% on that. For that money should have been invested back into the clubs, which a lot of them didn't. They chased the carrot. Paid a lot of good riders silly money that they shouldn't have been paying. Instead of investing it into the club, certain things they didn't. They all chased the carrot, and that for me that is the biggest problem. They've got a sponsorship nowhere near what they had with Sky, which is still good. People forget. Speedway's going through tough times at the moment. People keep whinging and moaning, and there's big companies that wanted to get involved in Speedway. They got professional people that went out and they checked these social media outlets and that. Well, I think one year we had a potential, a massive sponsor, but they got their people involved in it, and they just said just too much negativity in it. They walked away.
It's the thing with social medias and all that as well now, and it's sometimes
don't get me wrong. Social media's good for the right reasons. But
exactly. Yeah,
like we spoke it now, all you're doing is giving somebody a platform who's a nobody, including myself. You go on there. Life's changed now. It's all what's good. And like Terry always used to say to me in my early days, stop reacting to social media. Do your job that I pay you to do. Because he said, believe me, if you're doing something wrong, you'll know about it.
Yeah.
And that was my problem. I was reacting to these so-called, know-alls and that. And people get upset with that. You only have to look at all the comments. GB just beat Sweden by about, 32, 43? Something like that. And he thought England were in the race-off. Embarrassing. Get rid of Ellis. Who are we going to bring in? Who are we going to bring? Why? He won the first race. He beat Freddie Lindgren in the first race. Track changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. It's just oh my God. It is like being out of it since 2019 and just seeing all the negativity. I can see why people just walk away from it because unfortunately we just you'll get
Patrick Olsen.
Oh, he was a star at Swindon. Just people. They say they pay their money and they got entitled, but just some of them are just so far off the mark, miles off the mark, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And you know, and it'll be. I can see it'll be the downfall of Speedway the way it's going. Don't get me wrong, you got fan sites on football, but football's a bigger scale. It's massive. And you get, yeah. 100%. But we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that word. We're not allowed to say flakes.
No.
Because you offend people.
Yeah.
You know, when are we going to stop these oil people, you know, disrupting normal day-to-day average John people from earning money?
Yeah.
Government got to get tougher with them. I'm not a politician, believe me, and I don't want to go down that route. But
No.
things like that, they should be known. I'd like to get to know these people from the oil people because they seem to get some great tickets to the big events, and I'd like to get a couple of tickets to some of these events.
Yeah, definitely.
It's amazing how they get in, and then that next minute they get in at cricket, they got in at Wimbledon. You know, they stick themselves on. The French got it right, and the Germans, they stuck themselves to the floor. Peace went along, pulled the skin off, get up. That's the trouble. You know, the kids, it's all from everything, from the whole lot down to kids. They've not learned like manners and stuff like that. They've got no, there's no, you can't discipline people no more.
Yeah, that's the thing, discipline.
And so they don't know. So all in their eyes, they're doing right. They're doing right. So you've got a society now where you know you can't do no wrong, and you can't tell anybody off. Somebody will tell you off, smacking your kids on the backside in the supermarket for playing up.
Yeah.
Get the old people come at moaning at you. Why did you hit that kid? Hit?
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
I used to get a smack across the arse many a time.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same.
It didn't do me no harm.
No, I didn't. You respected your parents, didn't you?
Stabbing people.
Oh, I know. We all respected our
enough
parents.
of the old politics stuff. But but it's ingrained in the society of today.
Yeah, you're right.
But the thing is, we have got an older age group of people in our sport, which, like, sadly, I went to Somerset when I was on the Sky TV with the late great Nigel Pearson. I was sat in my car and I'm just looking at the people coming in. And I'm thinking, no disrespect, they had a flu epidemic, would have wiped them all out.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and attract the youngsters in there. But these youngsters now, there's just, unless it's a computer.
So much to do, yeah. So much to do, isn't there, as well? So much on.
Yeah, so much more on. You know, people say, how are we going to get 60, 70,000 back? You're never going to get 60, 70,000 people back in the sport because there's so much to do. Back then, you go out into town, you might go to a nightclub, and that was it. Same in Poland. Poland, I guarantee Poland will fall in a few years' time. Poland won't be where it is. It is like I speak to one of the promoters over there now, and he says the same. The riders, all the money that's coming in, is it all going out with what happened in England? But all the money is, and I don't mean that the riders are worth it, but you can only pay what's coming in realistically. Poland, you look at the crowds. Big gosh, you used to get 15, 20, 25,000. I've been up until a couple of years ago. I went to a match there. There was like 900 there. You still get certain clubs, I think, but look at the World Cup now. Look how empty, because Poland wanted it. There's a lot of travelling fans from Denmark and Sweden, England, and that there, but nowhere near. And people say it will sell out Saturday. We went there in 2007. That was one of my, for me, that was one of my best moments ever in Speedway. When we finished second.
Silver,
we got the silver in Wrocław. 17 or 18.
I'm sure someone now,
Come on, you lot are here listening.
Yeah, come on, you love all that. These people love stats.
So whatever year we were at Wrocław, we won on the Friday, and we won on the Saturday. But because the way the format was, and I accept that's the rules, and you have to live with it. But for me, it was a massive step forward for Great Britain. To go that next level. We blooded a young Robert Lambert with Ty Wooffingham. And at the time, Robert was very young at the time. But we won overall on the Friday with points. We beat Poland in their own backyard.
Yeah.
How often did we ever see the day we beat Poland in their own backyard?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So we won on the Friday, we won on the Saturday. Ty wins the race. Unfortunately, Robert came fourth, not through the want of trying.
Yeah.
But for me, that was probably, for me, certainly on the international scene, that was one of the most amazing. It was a massive achievement, and I don't think it got the credit it deserved. All it was, oh yeah, it's great. Well, we got silver. You know, people are peed off that they get silver now and stuff like that. But I guarantee there's 5 or 6 other teams would rather have a silver than nothing at all.
100%. Yeah.
You know, we all got to push that goal, and we were still progressing. And that was the first year, I think, when the new GB setup came in.
Yeah.
And to go there, for me, that was an unbelievable time. And I say, I don't think it was given the credit that it deserved. The fact that we beat the Poles in their backyard, we beat the Russians, who had Artem and Emil. We had a world champion in Ty Woofenden. We had a young rider in Robert Lambert.
Yeah.
And we won Friday, Saturday. I just don't believe that we got the credit that it actually deserved and justified. It might have been a silver, but to me, that all day long, that was a gold.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an amazing one, wasn't it? You must have been chuffed for that, proud of that one.
I was over the moon. I mean, you know, we've done that, and then I think it was 17, Roslab. I think I got a feeling. I think it might have been 17 because I think 18 we were at Bellevue, Manchester, wasn't it?
Yeah. There you go. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Good picture, that.
Taylor, he got that again. Just he's a youngster, you know, stepping in the sport at the time. Just catching that. Now that photo there is from Lesno. I got it wrong. Lesno was 2017. That for me, that year there with that team was one of the most enjoyable weekends. We missed out. Steve Worrell just missed out on the Russian in the last race to get bronze. We lost it by 1 point. But that weekend for me was one of the most enjoyable weekends. You know, as good as that one in Roslab was good for as a manager. That weekend was just so chilled, and like it was like everybody was focused and everything, and nobody expected us to do anything.
So, what did when you finished that? What was sort of the reasoning behind that with the Team GB?
I don't know. I just think I'd come to the end of it. The new owners had their own. It's their money now. It wasn't the BSPA's, and bearing in mind that I'm quite proud to say this, that we started the revolution of great GB speed, you know, English speedway on the continent, because and what a lot of people don't know, Buster Chapman was the one back in 2004. After we did the one in Bidgosh, we all come out disappointed. We didn't get anywhere. Went back to the BSPA, and if it wasn't for Buster Chapman, and he was chairman at the time, pushing it, that's when in 2015, that's when I call it like the Great Britain Revolution started. We went out to Croatia in the winter, in February, took 15 lads down, youngsters, everything, started the training fitness campaign, fitness regimes and stuff like that. That's when it started in 2015. But if it wasn't for Keith Chapman pushing, we'd still be just turning up and going along. And then obviously the new people came along, and you know, they've taken it to another level you know, with it.
Yeah, like Floppy said, he's proud of his World Cup silver. That was annoying that night.
No, yeah, Hans Anderson and Neil Middleditch, wasn't it? It was a big fallout, wasn't it?
Yeah,
massive. But yeah. I just think that, you know, it's come to a point, and they wanted to go their way, which is fair enough. And I think I'd been in it 5 years. 2014 to, and I'm proud of my achievements for Great Britain. I don't think we would be where we are now without where we started it. Took a lot of criticism. Ty, I don't know why Ty said the stuff that he used to say. The trouble is because it's Ty, you just believe every word that he said. And I mean, they still go on about it. The kebab gate. They want a freaking kebab shop, for Christ's sake. We were in Denmark, and the journey from the hotel to the track was 45 minutes on a coach.
Yeah.
We were the last ones on,
and
we were first in for scrutiny and signing on.
Yeah.
So you imagine getting everybody back on the coach, 45-minute drive down the road to get a meal, and then literally get back on. That's not good. They need to be chilling out, relaxing, unwinding.
Yeah.
So there was just behind the track, there was like a little village thing. There was salads there, but Ty just had it in his head that he was gunning for it and going for me. We ended up with it. But what he didn't say is the night before, we went in the most expensive steakhouse in Denmark, courtesy of the BSPA at the time, and spent £1,300 on the riders' mechanics on their food and steaks. And I will add, certain riders were having oysters for starters.
No way.
I'll leave it at that. And I got berated for this snack shop, which had salads, chickens, and everything, not fatty stuff, but it was just a more relaxed chill out. It was a nice sunny day. We were in the shade, just chilling, relax. I thought it was an ideal thing, but I think there was more to it. From there. I think it was certain person flexing his muscles and doing what he does best. But it is what it is, and I'm comfortable with it, and I know I've got people that were with me at the time will vouch for it, and the riders that will tell you, the ones that the other riders said it was not a problem, and it was better because they still had their big vans and everything, so they could go back, chill out in their van, not having a rush. They got beds in there, everything. You're all air conditioned.
Yeah.
You're not chasing your backside everywhere. And why would we travel 45 minutes to eat, rush, and then come back? Because
that makes sense.
Just about 1 o'clock. By the time you get back there too, we'll be back for just after 4 o'clock. It's crazy. Why traveling's tiring enough as it is, and it was just a nice little chill walk over the back. So I put my side, and that is the fact, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And I'm sick of hearing other people saying it was a kebab shop. Bullshit. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm glad you got that out.
So I wanted to get that off my chest. That's one of the biggest things, because it really frustrated me at the time. It wasn't. It was nowhere near a kebab shop. It was a thing. Had everything. Chicken, salads, everything that you'd want, and like, especially for you ain't going to go have a massive meal, and all you're doing is paying like triple the money back there at a hotel.
Yeah.
Denmark, as we're all well aware, it's not the cheapest place in the world.
No, definitely not. So since the Swindon thing and everything, have you been offered any jobs in Speedway? Would you want any jobs in Speedway, or what is the situation on that? Would you still go back into the Speedway if there's nothing with Swindon, or what is the situation for you from your point of view on that?
Well, I've always said this. Was very fortunate with Terry Russell that when I finished racing, I had a couple of years out, and at the time when people didn't really know that Terry and Matt were actually in together, they put their money together. So Matt didn't want to be seen at Swindon because it looked conflict of interest at Paul. But Terry and Matt, and eventually a year after, Terry bought Matt's share out of it. So it was just Terry only at the time. So Matt Ford rang me up and said, "Oh, can we meet up in the pub?" Because that was when I was still in Paul at the time. So can we meet up in the pub? He said, "I've got a proposition for you."
Yeah.
So obviously it was to go back in at Swindon. So I thought it was quite exciting. I got really excited. Then I moved back to Swindon that year, moved back to my house. And basically, whatever anybody said, I've always, within reason, and I'm not even within reason, I've been given a free rein to build them teams.
Yeah.
So them teams have always been my teams.
Yeah.
And I know this will be controversial. There's a lot of managers that have their teams built from by the promoters, and I wouldn't have that, because I had from 2004 to 2009. You got to live by the, you live and die by the sword, whether they're good. And the biggest compliment for me was Doyley said to me, "I've never built a shit team, a rubbish team." Sorry, I apologise for that.
That's all right.
Yeah,
say a lot worse.
he said I never built. You know, we got close a couple of times, got to the semis and stuff like that, but we never really had a bad team. Certainly from 2012 onwards, we were always up there. We were like we were, you know, before it's the same old Wolverhampton, Coventry, Poole. But that you look at it. And as much it pains me, because I had, for me, my best of my career, my time was being a Poole rider. So now I've gone back down there, and the new age fan, you got the old fans that's still very good to me, but the new fans didn't like it, because otherwise Matt would have had a clean sweep right through from 2010 all the way right through to the end of the year. We had a bit of luck on the way. Things happening with Poole, but that was self-inflicted stuff, which helped us. But end of the day, the record book said 12, 17, 19, Swindon were league champions, and we were always there. We were there, hitting the thing. We were up there. We were with the Pools. We were with the Coventrys. We were with the Wolverhamptons, the Belleviews. Certainly at the new stadium era time, but we were a big team. Well, we were.
So would you go back into the Speedway? Has anyone been offering you jobs?
I've had a couple of times when somebody says, "Oh, would you? You know, we've got promoted like a manager that he can't do that. Would you do the southern side?" I've said, "Yeah, let me know when it comes up."
Yeah.
But again, if I was going to do it, it'd have to be on my terms. And again, I wouldn't want. It took me a long time, and I don't care what anybody says, because you, like you say, you beat yourself down. Say you're rubbish. You ain't never going to make a team manager. You ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. In the end, I just tell myself, I am pretty decent at my job, and that's not being big-headed.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself in the end. After learning to get rid of that too much enthusiasm and passion, because passion's good, but it's got to be controlled, channeled and controlled. And I do believe my early days, it wasn't controlled. It was just too raw. Just anything go wrong, scream at the referee, shout, make yourself. And when you look back, you think, "Oh my God!" But I learned that, and then when I won the league 2010, then Colin Horton, Mick Horton took over.
Yeah. And
then 11, I was told Sandu left, and that was a fantastic year. And that was the making of me as a team manager, winning that, getting that first medal off our back.
Yeah.
That was the year which basically made me and set me on my way, and realised that I've got to do it, but it's got to be in a professional and a controlled manner.
How did you get offered that job to go to Coventry then? How did that come up?
Well, it's another good story, Lee.
Okay, cool.
Basically, Peter Oakes, I'd had a big fall. I had a falling out with Terry Russell at Swindon over something.
Okay.
And I said, that was it. Enough's enough. I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, one day I was reading the Speedway Star. Peter Oakes was finishing. So I got on the phone. Bearing in mind I was still at Swindon at the time, which was Gary Paschett and Terry Russell. I got on the phone with Mr Sandu, rung him up and said, "Oh, Peter Oakes is retiring from the management side of it. You looking for a manager?" And he said, "Why? Would you be interested in it?" I said, "Yeah, 100%. He said, "Well, I'm just getting on a plane to go to Tangier, but please leave your phone on. When I get off the plane the other side, I'll ring straight back. I'm literally just boarding it." And they say after that, the rest is history. So as he did, true to his word, when he got the other side, he wanted me there no matter what. He was adamant, 100%. And then I quit Swindon in 2010, which was hard for me.
Yeah.
But I think it was the making of me as well.
Good show, yeah.
Lots of things said about Gary Patchett over the years, but he did have the balls to come back to me after all the fallouts we had with him and Terry over the years, that he did have the balls to come back to me and asked me to come back in 2012 and rung me up. And then, because the reason, again, I was getting, 2011, Mick Horton came in. And then straight away, I was told, carry on, do what you did before, build the team. Next minute, we go into the dinner and dance. He signed 2 riders already.
Without speaking to you?
Yeah, no, I've already done. I think he'd done Scotty Nichols and Edward Kennett.
Yeah.
So hang on a minute. You don't build from the top.
Yeah.
You work out, you kind of do a bit at the bottom, bit at the top, and work it around, stuff like that.
Yeah.
As soon as that's, again, that was it. And then out of the blue, Gary rung me up. And, you know, again, we had a fallout, but I always told him that, you know, once you start lying to me, when riders brought one bike in the pits, he showed me the stuff, but it didn't really mean nothing.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the riders weren't being paid, and it became a thing. And then I got involved with Pedley Beach, Excalibur. Look, this club's going down. We need your help. Yeah. And they came in and took it over. And then Terry stepped back in again. Then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good time, that thing. But then we went on and won that league, which was pretty special. You know, I won it in 2010 with Coventry. 2011 was a year that things didn't go right at Coventry. Sandy then decides to leave. Once he wanted to leave, I didn't really want to work with Mick. His track record previous, he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong. His track record previous at Peterborough and stuff, everything that went on wasn't really ideal. Yeah. But yeah, it was. And then, you know, we got it, and you know, that was a fantastic night. You know, that track at Swindon was pretty poor that night when Wolverhampton come to town. Yeah. And go there, and the famous race when Nick Morris, you know, when Nigel Pearson, Morris. Yeah. You know, most one of the iconic things you'll ever hear. Like, you know, Nigel just brought his own stuff to it. It was fantastic, like, you know. But to go there and beat them on their own backyard, especially after the 2009 controversial stuff with Freddie and Lee Adams. Oh, I know. Yeah. In the first corner. Yeah. Certain referee. We won't mention his name. He's no longer a referee.
What does it rhyme with?
Huh?
What does it rhyme with?
Yeah.
You're thinking about that now.
But yeah, that was an awful thing, and we lost it because of that. Yeah. And but I think that was personal, because me and him clashed. We didn't get on. I think again that's going back to my raw passion of channeling it, and that and the aggressor, being the aggressor all the time. Yeah. You know, again, but going to Coventry, maybe learn with Colin Pratt. He even told me off. I was sat in the pits for a meeting. I travelled up from Swindon. I was starving, and I got there, and I was like, and I was eating a pie. Put that pie in that bag, or go out the back and eat it. You're not eating in front of all them people. It's got no ceremonies, did Colin, but it was great. He just taught me, put me in the right direction. Yeah,
he was old school and proper, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was proper, and he got a lot of respect from people. My little Ruby, that was a team. That was a team. That was a great team.
Yeah, it was.
Batch, Razza, Adam, Jason, Toby, and the reserve boys. They did their job. But you think Adam, Razza, Troy, Jason, and Toby? You know, what a top 5 that was.
I didn't know that as well, so it's good to hear that you liked, like you said, it's almost like a football thing, isn't it? Where, like, I don't know, the chairman or directors of footballs are meddling in your signings, or they're doing it for you. Like you said, I like the way that you did it all yourself. So you built the team.
Oh, you have to live and die. When
Yeah.
it was good, you
Yeah.
know, and that's what you did. So we started winning. So then you got to start believing in yourself. I never believed in myself because I was always a passionate rider and passionate person. Whatever I did, I was passionate about everything that I did.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
But you had, like you said, had to control it. In my early days, it wasn't controlled. It was just too raw. Just too raw. And in the end, once I got the monkey off him back in 210, 212, and in between that, we got very close a few times. Hit the old crossbar again. Even in the early days, we hit the crossbar. But once you controlled that passion and put it in the right way, you still get fired up. There's nothing wrong with getting fired up. You just got to. Nobody's going to listen to a raging idiot like you know. You know, people complaining about Nicky. I thought he was really professional last night in what he said. You know, he called him. He said something really strange and said, "All right, mate." Straight afterwards, like it was brilliant.
Yeah.
But again, that decision with Razza, I actually agreed with Nicky. He was right. Yes, he did move out.
So Gary said about Pedersen kept his core as a rider manager last night.
Again, I don't see how that's for me. I get on. Nicky still messages me now to this day.
Yeah.
I rode with him at Wolverhampton. Always got on well with him. You know, a lot of people, you know, chastised him and that. But, you know, once you put that helmet on, different animal.
Different,
put that helmet off.
Yeah, different guy.
Nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people. And I remember, like, I think I was with Bomber down in Voyens or something. I was walking around the pits. And he called me into his big motorhome and said, "Alan, come on in. Anytime you're passing, you want to get yourself a beer? You're more than welcome." And he said, "I never, ever slagged him off over the years." I've criticised him, but I never slagged him off. Disagreed on stuff, but I rode with him when we rode at Wolverhampton together, when I rode for Wolves. We were partners together and we got on really well. But, you know, but that was that sheer will to win. That's what he is.
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Some crazy things, but not for me to say.
Yeah.
But he was always, you know, the will to win one, you know, and some of the stuff that he did. I mean, if you rattle Greg Hancock, you must have done something pretty bad, to be fair.
Yeah.
Greg was pretty back.
That was some diver that night.
Yeah, well, it was like Superman.
Yeah, proper took him out, yeah.
But I was like, once people started meddling and that's the one thing with Terry, he never meddled in.
Just let you go on with it, yeah.
I'll go this and like we change certain deals around and we'll do it that way then and we'll have that. Because I want to go for that rider.
Yeah. So it worked out.
He gave me a free arm. They were all of them teams from Coventry.
Yeah.
Them all team I built, but no thing.
No meddling.
I discussed it with some close friends.
Yeah.
Which way, what to do.
Yeah.
Again, it's going back to the GB thing. I got criticised for not having a programme. So criticised me for that. But when you're in the pits with the riders, and at the time we were in Russia, which people didn't realise the logistics. You can't just if it was in Poland, I could have flown somebody over for the next day and we would have been okay.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day event. You have to get visas, everything, and it's not just a matter of just like when you're in that country. And believe me, that was an eye opener going to Togliatti. It was the final nail in my coffin for me. But a lot of two-faced people around at the time, in that time, saying stuff which were not true. So,
did you always get up
to there? Once I found out that, when I come back there, I was in two minds anyway.
Is that what made you, question?
So, but then I was asked a question, and I didn't need to be asked the second time.
Did you always get on with like Woofy in general, or?
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
got on exceptionally well, early days and that stuff like that. I think probably the biggest nail in the coffin for me again, because people are phased by riders. And I remember Nigel Pitt when we were at Bellevue, and I dropped Whoopi at 3 seconds, and I dropped him out and put Robert Lambert in. And everybody said Craig Cook's going to get dropped, but I dropped Whoopi. He wasn't, but that ride that I dropped him in, he changed bikes and he cleaned up after that.
Did he react well to that change, or?
Well, he put a smile on it, but I think deep down it hurt him.
Yeah, so it almost sounded like you said, change the bike. It almost gave him a kick at the backside a little bit.
Well, then that's it. And like, I had a guy with me that used to keep program when we discussed things. Like when we got back to the hotel and there was Cookie, Lambert, and all that, and everybody said, "Oh, Wolfie's giving us all a slating because he got injured, didn't he? He couldn't go to Russia."
Yeah.
Oh, Roscoe, he never fills in a program. Do I need to fill in a program? If I'm sat there making a mistake and I'm 1 point out, thinking I'm comfortable because I've made a mistake, got somebody there, right? What are we doing? Right, okay, yeah, okay. Go off. I'll go back to the pits, discuss it with the riders. What we're going to do. Make a change here. Going to bring you in for that. But Russia again was the biggest problem when the two number one riders wipe each other out.
Yeah.
When you're out in Russia. It's game over.
Yeah, it's game over.
What you do? I mean, Robert lent Chris Harris an engine because Chris was struggling for speed. I was in there changing stuff like that. We were in there. We're all in there helping you because bear in mind, it's not like a European where you got loads of mechanics. You could only take 2 mechanics, and one was focusing on their own riders and that. So we all had to get stuck in there to help set the engine out of one and put it into another bike. But people don't see that and just unfairly get criticised. And as I said, I think that the boys are very upset with some of the comments on that day from the British commentary. There's people obviously messaging across saying, "Oh, you're getting slaughtered by Ty on BT and stuff like that." There's just no need for it. To be supporting and encouraging. That for me, and then I was sat on my own. I just wanted a bit of time myself. And funny enough, Peter Lung used to ride for Swindon.
Swedish,
and he was with the Swedes at the time, and he used to call me Homer because he came home one night and I was sat on the floor in my underpants and a pizza box on the floor. So in the end, he labelled me and Julie Homer and Marge.
That's brilliant.
So I was sat there in a pair of boxer shorts and a pizza. I probably had a bit of a pudge on me at the time, and he just called me Homer from then. But no, Peter called me over. He said, "Come and have a beer. Come and sit with us." So I unwound, and then the rest of the boys were doing their bits and bobs and that. But yeah, it was a bit of a soul searching, and that was when the decision was made. I just thought you don't want to be fighting your own people.
Yeah, it's not cool, is it?
No,
you don't want that. Like you said, the two-faced thing from your own crew is not good when you're trying to do your best. This is interesting from Dave Manda here. I've just checked to see who that name was. It's not on there. He goes, "We've got, if we get Brandon back, would Alan ever come back as a team manager if he was offered the position? The Save Coventry Speedway Committee has raised over 20 grand in less than a week on a GoFund page to pay for legal representation at the final planning hearing in September. So we are still fighting and would love to see Alan back at Brandon in some capacity."
Well, there's been discussions. That's all I'll say. If it was to happen, I would more than like to go back there.
Interesting.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Thanks for that. What did you enjoy your time there when you rode? Because obviously you had obviously people didn't know you rode there as well.
86. Believe it or not.
Oh, sorry, I'll go back to that. Yeah.
That there was Swindon's press and practice day.
I was going to say, is that Swindon? I thought it was Swindon.
Yeah, it's Swindon, and I went round, and obviously at the time, you know, getting a bit of stick from the other riders because '86 I moved to Coventry, and at the time Sir Charles, I say Sir Charles, it was just Charles Ochiltree was in charge, and went up there with big bright ideas of what we're going to ask for and that. I ended up with double. He offered me double the money that I was even going to ask for.
Oh, nice.
And halfway through the season, I was having a good season. And I think on my debut, Oxford were in town, and I got there. I didn't get there till 10:07 because when you go into Brandon, it got really packed over the little bridge when you go through Bingley by the chip shop over by the pub across the road.
Yeah.
My driver Frankie Cox was driving, and we had to go the no exit road. The no entry, the one-way system, and come out the end, and we were going up the wrong side. Yeah. And I think I was reserved. I was number 6 at the time, and it was against Oxford. I even beat Wiggy that night, and I think I got 11 or 12 paid 13, something like that from reserve. Yeah. About 6 rides.
Nice.
So yeah, and Charles came to me and said, "Alan, let me make it clear. If I want to buy Bobby Schwartz, I will buy Bobby Schwartz. So if I want to buy Alun Rossiter, I'll buy Alun Rossiter." That was practice at Coventry. It was really heavy, as you can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. On the track. Put one of these Speedway engines on there. These Speedway bikes are today on there now.
I know.
You see a meeting like you saw in Voyens when none of them could turn it.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, Charles said to me at the end of halfway through the season, "We want to buy you from Swindon." And at the time, God rest his soul, Bernard Crapper was always there with me. And even though he was at Oxford, he would always call me up and give me advice. And we come really close and that. And Bernard says, my boy, you need to leave Swindon and go to Coventry. But the call of coming back to your own hometown club was too much to refuse, unfortunately. Probably to the detriment of me, because if you had a bad meeting, you'd see it in the Evening Advertiser, wouldn't you? Yeah. And you got the people, the fans around when they saw you. Not so much social media, more the paper, or if you're out in the town or something, you know, "Well, you were rubbish Saturday on Thursday," or wherever it was, like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was probably, I should have stayed at Coventry, and I probably may have taken that next bigger step. But I didn't do bad. I don't think.
No. So I was going to talk to you about. Look at that there. Look.
Yeah,
grass track bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a grass track bike. That's my old. That was my Sunbright Lions coat. That was.
I think that was that 80.
Jacket.
Have you?
Yeah, I've still got that.
That's a cheeky bit of memory. Yeah, nice. Love that. You got. I'm sure that's that 88. I think that was about maybe 88 when that that Barry Briggs meeting was on. I reckon maybe.
Might have been. I don't know. I can't recognise it, to be honest. I can't recognise.
No, I was just trying to look. I was thinking that's what it could be as well. Jesus Christ, there is literally, by the way, hundreds.
Get them on then. Let's get through them and start rattling through them. We're talking crap about me.
I know. Colin Richardson. Right. Alan, how do you think the UK Speedway scene could be breathed life back into? If so, how? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Colin.
Look, everybody's tried. You know, and whilst people slate the promoters and stuff like that, as I said before, it's their money. It needs fresh ideas. It needs shape. Speedway's simple. It's 4 riders, 4 laps, no breaks, 60 seconds, a pure thing. I get fed up with people going, "It's got to be a show. It's got to be a show." Speedway's not. I would put some boys doing somersaults in the middle and stuff like. People nowadays have only got a certain time. Kids got to go to school. They need to be leaving the home track at 9 o'clock so they get the kids in the bed ready for school the next day. So all it's about putting entertainment on. But yes, something needs to be done. It needs an injection into it. But what at the moment, I couldn't honestly say what it is. There is lots of things, but we could be here all night. But it needs, I think, from the start, it needs to be independent governing body, and that'll upset a few of the promoters, but I still believe it starts there.
Do you think it affected it, like with the GP and that, Roscoe? The GP obviously become the weekend, because obviously Swindon used to be, in the heydays, was in the Saturday night, stuff like that. Do you think that ever affected it when we had to move it to like midweek and stuff like that? Obviously, like you said, they don't own the stadium. It's normally the dogs or whatever, so you have to go around that. But
it had a big factor on it. But obviously, when you get £1 million from Sky, you have to move with the times, and that's what that's the problem with Speedway. People are set in their ways. It needs a shake up. It needs something. It needs a really good shake up, but it doesn't need a massive. It just needs something, but that's something that nobody can put their finger on at the moment. Otherwise, it would be done.
Yeah,
it needs a serious shake-up, starting with an independent governing body, but that won't go down right with the promoters because it's their money, which I totally understand and respect.
But like you said, it's got self-interest though.
Promoter, it's not been my money. It's been Terry's money and Gary's money and other people's money.
Yeah.
But I get it. But you just got to be bold and make that big zone of starting.
Yeah. Otherwise, like you say, some certain rules and things might get slightly manipulated to self-interest.
Like Wolverhampton struggling, the dog owners. Swindon's the same. Their dog owners. It's like really frustrating to read that Swindon put out the 2024 fixtures for 24.
Yeah. Any chance you could put the light on there? We're starting to lose.
Well, getting dark.
Starting to lose you. There you go. Beautiful. Thanks for that. I'm back. So what do you think then, Roscoe? Because obviously you got looks like potentially Wolverhampton going. I can see that they're all obviously trying to rally round and stuff. And then I think Peterborough as well. Is this the last year Peterborough as well? What do you think the situation is going to be? Because it doesn't leave you much of a Premiership league, does it? So I don't really know how's that going to work.
There's only one where they can go, but they've just, if they do it, it's going to go back. It's got to be a smaller second tier speedway, because if you want the TV and the money and the coverage, there's got to be a top tier. It's got to be a top tier, but it needs to smaller that down. And the likes of Paul should be in the top tier. I don't care what anybody says. Matt's my mate, But Matt, what are you doing down there? Playing with the old little boys now. Get back with the big boys.
Yeah, because did you get to speak to him, Matt? He's got in France, isn't he? Is he France? I think he's got a.
That was another job I did for Matt. I took when we went out in 2019. Drove the truck over with a lot of stuff and everything when it was just like absolutely ripped to bits. And what you look at his chateau now, it's amazing, totally amazing. But whatever he touches, it always goes good. You got to give him credit, but he still should be in the top flight now. And you'll get the support say, "Well, the racing's just the same," and that. No. But a club like Paul should be in the top flight league.
Yeah, what was happening with all their stadium and all that as well when they were?
Well, again, oh my God. Can you talk for 2 seconds? I just had to text my barman. Just text me. Urgently needs to speak to me.
Yeah, you carry on. Yeah,
Urgent. Can you waffle for a sec?
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. No worries at all. Let's show some weird and wonderful pictures from Roscoe a minute while he's just got to deal with something to do with the bar. What about that one? What are people saying? Oh, brilliant. I think this one here is, I'm pretty sure that's, by the way, I let you all know that I have actually spoke to Rick Miller, and I'm going to do a live interview with Rick Miller, so that'd be cool. But that looks like to me that Roscoe's up there on the microphone, and I think they were all doing bungee jumps at his testimonial, I believe that was at Coventry, so we'll ask Roscoe about that in a minute. I think this picture was from Maureen Schooling as well, from Australia. She does all the helmet colours and all that for a lot of the riders and stuff like that. I'm sure she put this picture up of Roscoe over there. Looks like, is that on the old grass track, long track bike there? Or the setup of that anyway. Yeah, there's a cool one as well. Another one, bless that man, Malcolm Holloway. Welly, as he was known, him in Roscoe, look. And it was on the front of the Speedway Star as well. Check that out. This was also, you can see Roscoe and Terry Russell there with Lee Adams and my uncle Martin Ashby. That was when Lee Adams overtook Martin's all-time Swindon Robbins rider points record. And when we spoke about that as well, it didn't go down totally well either. That obviously back then, I don't know if you all remember the double points. So Mr Adams was getting a few double 6 points here and there. And I can imagine what Martin would have been on if he'd have got a few double 6 points. So yeah, even they even get competitive even and down for that as well. I totally get. Yeah, you're right. All sorted. It's not Kevin down there kicking off, is it?
They run out of change in the pub. My wife's still in bed. My two daughters have done the disappearing act.
Oh no!
A million apologies for that. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. I was actually showed up.
It makes it look real, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's definitely live.
Yeah, it's live.
Definitely live.
I just showed up in a minute. Oh, look at that.
Hello.
Back in the day when I was skinny.
Yeah.
There's another good story to that one. Graham Jury got me up there.
Yeah.
And that's Graham Jury's old helmet.
Okay.
And the old monkey mask.
Yeah,
and
got one
he
of them.
said, right, everybody's out midnight because they to do it. It was a promotional stunt.
Mm-hmm.
And John Hipkiss has got a couple of other photos which should be X-rated now. Mind you, it wouldn't have been nothing to shout about in an ice cold rink.
Yeah. Yeah, be like
but yeah, anyway,
somewhere.
So I go out on the rink, told nobody's in the building.
Yeah.
And it turns out there was a cleaner up there who was absolutely gobsmacked seeing this naked bloke riding around the rink at Telford at midnight.
Brilliant. I'm glad you got your boots on.
Yeah, I got a hole in my leg actually from Ice Speedway.
Yeah, what was that story? I remember I was speaking to you about that. Tell us about that.
Basically, me, Simon Cross,
Yep.
A few of us, we went over to a place called Arlane out in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And we were doing some demonstration rides, but we never had the, see the mud guards on the back, the metal bits?
Yeah.
It was just the bike with no tires. And Crossy was messing about and like he was trying to flick his back wheel at me and that. And then I went a little bit straight. And as I went straight, my leg caught his back wheel and it went through the boot, through me levers at the time and cut half my calf away.
No way. Fucking hell, that must have been haywire.
So the funniest thing is when my kids were born and that, and obviously they saw the hole in my Jamie, you're the man. When they saw the hole in my leg, I always say, because I went to Australia a couple of times, I used to tell the kids it was a shark bite. That was on Ivan's tour. That one, that was in Mildura.
I just said Maureen Scully.
Believe it or not, Julian Wigg built that bike for me.
Did he?
That was an amazing bike. And like he always said to me, whatever you do, never tell Simon that I built you a bike. Well, I said, well, I don't think I'm going to have a problem. But saying that, one of my claim to fames is I made the B final in Marmont, France. I
remember that one.
And
that's massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like big. It was one there a couple of weeks ago. I made it, and Wiggy was out in front. And I literally nearly pipped him on the line in the big final. Yeah, I literally got that close and nearly beat Wiggy in the final because he missed out on the A final.
Because that's his thing as well, wasn't it? He was like Tatum and they were both right on that, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think that was Maureen Scolin that put that up.
Maureen, Maureen, yeah.
I have a good few chats with her. She's always does the helmet colours for all the riders and stuff like that. I think she told me about that. She was doing all that.
But
I showed him this.
Julian built that bike for me. That was Rick Miller's testimonial. That's when Harry jumped off the end upside down. I did do it, but I did it feet down. Yeah.
I see you're on the mic up there as well. Was you doing?
It was on the mic for Rick's testimonial.
Nice. I just showed him these. These are the pictures I just showed him while you were gone off. I showed him that one as well of you in Mount.
Christmas edition.
Yeah, and then I just showed him this, and I was saying about, I think that was when he took over his Martin's all-time Swindon Robbins points score.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, crash.
And I remember that Martin even mentioned about the fact that he, I was going, Jesus, they're still being competitive. He goes, oh yeah, well, I wouldn't have minded doing a few double 6 points race wins as well. They brought that in, didn't they? So he soon started catching it up, and it was like, but yeah, that was cool as well. Nice. God, it's totally different then, didn't they? The old Kevlars then, Kevlars.
Yeah.
Mm.
Peter Lung, Ollie Allen, Andy Smith, David Rood, Lee, Jono, Charlie.
I'd like to do one with Jono. It'd be fun.
Yeah, Jono was good. That would be entertaining.
I have to try and get hold of him. Maybe you could.
His boys are just starting to get into Speedway now. His young
Are
boys.
They?
Yeah.
Are they?
So as you see that photo there, Mr. Hipkiss took that photo, and they put it in thing like so. It was all meant to be like, oh no, there's no other photos. You're all right. You're all right.
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
of a sudden it started filtering out. Yeah, righto. You knew it would be, but
Stitch up.
if you look there, people said if you read that caption down below, is that Boise's foot? No, that's Boise stood on me full stop. Whole body.
Oh, yeah,
look,
both feet.
2 feet. 2 feet. Read the article.
Yeah. Holding him down.
Yeah.
2 feet. Yeah, he's completely stood on it.
I got to say, them first cup, 89, 90, and that, they were fantastic years. I was living a celebrity lifestyle down in Poole. I had a sponsored house, everything. You know, lived in a house in Camford Heath. You know, and Streety was brilliant. You know, the Aussie boy, and that's probably where my affiliation started. You know, with the Aussies. You know, started coming from with Boise, Lango, and all that. Rod Calhoun, Stevie, Gary Allen was the oddball out because he was a New Zealander, and the Aussies and the Kiwis, they didn't like each other too much,
didn't they?
No, there was always a little bit of grief about it. But no, that was the first year. I think that was 89. That one.
I left the Swindon time as well when you were with Gary Allen. I actually watched when I was doing a few little bits. I watched on YouTube the other day you and Gary doing a 5-1. I think it might have been
Edinburgh. I know the race. That was one of my favourite races of all time.
Yeah, that was good.
When I won that and got us through to the final, we didn't win it.
Yeah,
we beat Jesselainen, the Finnish rider, and Michael Coles.
That's it. Yeah. That's the
Gary
one I watched.
Had to come through to get a 5-1, and I trapped past Colesy or Jesselainen.
I was going to say, I think you both did. Yeah, you don't think you both even like really gated. Really, you were you made a pass on him, and then obviously you kept looking round doing that. What can you do? And then Gary Allen just about got through as well. And then you look round on the final corner, and then the celebration started.
Mate,
and everyone,
the roar! I never. That still sticks to me now. That roar.
Yeah.
They say the Abbey roar. That night,
it was. Yeah.
I went over the line. I thought something had exploded. It was unbelievable that the roar. It was just something really special that night. I remember that for Swindon. That was amazing.
Yeah, can't remember too many nights when they everyone was on the dog track and hanging off the fence after a race. So you know, it was pretty special. That was cool. Yeah, it was really cool. But you had some looking at all these, you had some really, really good years. Won a lot of trophies and stuff like that, didn't you? With Paul over the years down there.
Yeah, it was good times. Really good time. Obviously, I met Julie. She was from Paul, and it's my most successful time in my career. You know, people. You know, when they are but the trouble is, I would then become the villain because I went back down as a team manager and stopped all that, tried to put a spanner in their work. So few of them are going to get a little bit grumpy, but I love still going down there. You know, the people are still very good to me. So that's Andy Graham, Sam Malenko, Boise, and me on the outside.
I did just see a comment off of Jill Graham as well. And they said, hopes all well with Roscoe. I did go and see an Andy Graham night.
The Graham boys, they were very, very underrated riders. They were very, very good riders. They were in the day.
I think that's like Swindon, isn't it? Looks like that's like Swindon.
Yeah, Swindon. Yeah, that was the year they sold me to Swindon sold me for 10 grand to buy Andrew Silver, to fund Andrew Silver.
Oh, right, yeah. So that was like, what was that, late 80s?
You look there. I'm not. That is. Go back to the one you just. That
Yeah.
one that on the inside.
It was
I'm
on the
not sure.
inside.
Not sure who that is, but that's Greg Hancock on the outside.
Oh, yeah, and Red Barker, is it? Dean Barker
But
in
do you
yellow.
know? Yeah.
Don't know who that is on the inside. It's got Coventry on his bib.
He's a Danish rider.
I don't know. And when that, what's his name? Was it Ollie Trevanian or whatever his name was?
No,
Wasn't
it's
him,
not
was
Ollie.
it?
He didn't ride for Coventry then.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe
it,
someone.
we won the fours that day.
It was at Peterborough, wasn't it? That was always a
Yeah,
good meeting as well, wasn't it? There you go. There's,
Crossy.
yeah.
Sean Tacey.
Oh, was him in there?
Sean's got in there. He had to get in there somehow, didn't he?
He actually rang me up as I started the live doing that. I can't get on this thing.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, I could tell you a great story. Me and my brother-in-law, now brother-in-law, Martin Willis, we went with Coventry over to Poland, Lublin. It was the first ever floodlit meeting ever in Poland.
Yeah.
Coventry, Hans took a team from Coventry over, and me and Martin, Sean, we all, jumped in one van. Sean, I think we scarred Sean Tacey for life after that.
Talk to me, Sean. You come and see me up at Ling when I made my debut on the old British Championship Motocross League. He come over. It's a shame I was obviously busy doing it. He come over and see me, and it was nice to see him because we've been speaking quite a bit, So a few people have said.
Then. Where's all these messages? Let's get them out.
So look, everyone's been saying Ray Morton, and then a couple have been saying Jakob Olsen. Jakob Olsen.
It's a Danish rider because it's got RUJ on the knee. A Danish rider of some sort. I don't think it's Jakob. Correct.
Correct.
When he walked in the showers, we all used to bow at Sean. Say, sir.
That's brilliant. There you go, Sean. You've been on here all night. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, we used to bow. And nobody would go in the shower until he'd come out.
Yeah,
we'll feel very inferior.
Oh, that is absolutely classic. Brilliant. What about the Team GB days? Is Floppy right next to you there, look, as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
Me and Flop.
Had some good times.
I mean, it's again, the riders' mentality's changed.
Yeah.
I remember getting a phone call 10 o'clock in the morning, and bearing in mind, I rode the night before. Somebody had pulled out at a meeting. It was England were riding, and somebody was sick. It might have even been Floppy, someone like that, Floppy or Dino or something like that. One of them pulled out Ipswich. It was against the American, and I left Swindon back in the day. You never had the M25 then. You had to drive straight through the centre of London, and it was a 2:30 start, and I got there at 10:50. But that's what it meant. Sadly, now it's all about money. Not that guy, the Scottish guy that's American. I love that one. I keep talking about it, listening to him. It's no different in motocross. The guys don't want to come over no more. It's all about money.
Oh right, yeah, the Motocross Nations and that, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about money. They don't. It's not about the self pride of representing your country now. It's about what we're going to get,
Yeah, what's the appearance fee and all that?
But
you guys were passionate, yeah.
But that guy, when I listened to it, and he was basically saying what was happening in Speedway at the time.
Yeah.
James Easter was a good manager too. He was good to ride under. JL was good too. John Louis.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, Paul Hurry.
That's one of the questions I'm going to ask you. Obviously, you become a team manager as well. Who was your favourite team manager to work under?
Streety was up there. People would say, "Oh, he's too old. But the Speedway values, apart from the technology side of it, Speedway's still the same. Going around in circles and just getting your head in. I always say, Speedway's 80% in the head, 20% on the track.
Yeah.
Might be slightly different now with the new technology and everything and the way it's moved forward, but 80% was in your head.
Do you think that
Neil Street was one of the best. Got to say, you know, people said he was old towards the end, but he was still a wily character and still had respect to the riders. That team there is the last official touring side that went to Australia and beat the Aussies in their own backyard. That was official Sunbright tour. That was.
Yeah, brilliant days they were. I used to remember them. They were good.
Yeah,
and
that was 87, 88.
Yeah.
And there was Lee Adams, Todd Wiltshire, everybody, all because they changed it around, the Aussies did, but we had the same 7. We beat them 5-2 in their own backyard.
Well, yeah, I see Steve Regling
ever won. Reggie, Glyn Taylor,
Taylor,
Glenn Doyle,
yeah.
Stephen Davies, Todd, Grumpy, and Chris Watson.
Bloody good riders over, weren't they? Steve Davies.
Eric Bucock, me, Neil Evitts, Peter Carr, Paul Thorpe, Sean Wilson, Andy Smith, and Javi.
That must have been a fun team as well.
Me and Javi were the kings on that tour. I'll leave it at that.
Sean Wilson must be a good lad. I'd love to get him on here as well.
Yeah, no, Sean's a good lad. Sean's a good lad.
Yeah. Some good times there for sure.
Yeah, he helped me out a lot in '92 because I didn't know anything. He's very good with engines. Jeremy, him and Crumpy helped me do my engines and that when I was on the long track tour. But that was my debut for England.
Oh, was it?
That was at Bellevue. I was number 7.
Was you nervous for that
night?
Was you nervous for that?
Yeah, that's a British final.
Yeah.
British final, home fire.
What's your memories of the British finals? Because that was always a special thing at Coventry then days, wasn't it?
It was just absolutely rammed. You'll never, apart from a Grand Prix or anything, you won't get the crowds. Them British final days at Coventry were very, very special. They're amazing. That was you used to bust a gut just to get to the British final. You had to qualify. Go to Halifax, go to Sheffield, do all the qualifiers to get there.
Yeah. Phil just said those Sunbright. They did, didn't they? Them Sunbright jackets looked awesome.
10p's.
David Norris, frick me, Roscoe. I'm post M25. I've seen you stuck on there a few times as well. The old lorry. See the old lorry.
Don't get me going on the M25. What does he mean? I'm post. What he means after.
Yeah, age-wise.
Well, how come we're still in that photo there? We don't look too much. He looks a little bit younger than me, just.
Yeah. I used to love these ones that they used to do those. I've
still got a caricature hanging up in the pub.
Have you?
Yeah,
I love them.
I've got that.
Yeah, I used to love them.
Great.
Look, I've even got one of here with Dad on a mouse mat here of Milton Keynes in it.
Yeah.
I used to love them. They were all cool, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. I like them.
What other ones you
Is
got?
that the modelling?
That was the what Phil Lanning did and Russell Lanning did. They brought out a different. I think it was a Speedway Mail, and they used to do a pin-up. My kids laugh at me. Said, "Oh, Dad, look at you there."
I was going to say, do you kids ever see any of this and do that? Is it you at your dad's not cool stage? Is that?
I get it. I think the funniest thing for me with the kids, they were like when we went to Cardiff a few years back, and all these poles were stood outside the pub as I come out the pits from helping Emil.
Yeah.
And they all started chanting my name, and they all got totally embarrassed.
Did they?
Yeah, they all got embarrassed, really embarrassed. Dad.
It was that woman having a heart attack.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Got some cracking pictures of you as well, because obviously you did everything at Swindon, the mascot to the rider to the manager, co-promoter.
Did training schools. Yeah,
Look at that.
And they said, look, back in the team suits, Swindon started the revolution there.
The red, yeah, with the red.
Lewis.
They sorted the change out.
Yeah, he just texted me up. I need 10p's, you know.
Jesus.
I was rushing like a loony. But yeah, they said down Swindon when Brigo started it, like they were all red and white. Nobody did that. Crash with his porn star image there. Yeah. Norman Hunter, he was a character.
Yeah, I heard.
Mickey Keane, Edgar, Brian Leonard, Dick Bradley.
Yeah,
David, Summoner
yeah.
McKnight, the American.
Mm. You had some bloody cool times hanging around with all them, didn't you? With all the boys. Look, there's Bouchard on your arm there, Jan Anderson.
Jerzy Trzaskowski, Leonard Raber, the two they both. I'm led to believe they still live in Germany now.
Do they?
These days, yeah. Bobby Mack, Jan Anderson.
Yeah.
That was when long hair was in fashion.
Yeah, it was the rock star look, wasn't it?
Yeah. Richard Evans on the end.
Yeah.
My hero Kilb.
Yeah.
See your dad?
Cool, yeah. And Martin as well next to you. Malcolm as well.
Malcolm. Jeff.
Just trying to think. We've lost half of them, haven't we? Well, so
Yeah.
Malcolm, Dad, Bob. Yeah.
Bob.
I think Jeff's Bouchard's.
Yeah, Jeff's alive. He wished me happy birthday the other day. So Jeff's
I did as well. Yeah, I bumped into him accidentally at Leicester, and I didn't realise he lived up that way. So I think it was the first time they were back in the big league. So you were obviously managing, and we went down there.
He was there. He went and watched. I remember him. Yeah, we had a good chat that night. Yeah.
Yeah, first meeting of the season, and we went there, and he literally tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, "Bloody hell, Jeff Bouchard!"
Yeah.
Look at the good old days of the old
Swindon Speedway.
There's Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
What does he? Has he seen any of all your stuff? Does he actually like the Speedway at all? Or?
Yeah, he loved. They all my family, the kids, they love it. They really miss it. Bjorn Anderson. They really miss it, and they like when I go. Oh, by the way, like I go to Oxford. Well, if you want me, you're gonna have to let my family all want to come from the wife. Yeah. My wife didn't go; she wasn't very well at the time, but the kids are adamant they were all going.
Because Brian Burford sent me this. He said that you were the first ones or something to do a match race.
Yeah.
An official match race for junior riders or something like that. Yeah, he said it to me.
Yeah. He absolutely tonked me that night.
Oh, did he? Oh, we'll take that down then.
Bob, trying to get me gating sorted.
Yeah. I think I got a nice picture of you somewhere with him. Everyone's seen that one up in the pit corner. There we go. Has he had influence on you, Roscoe? Did he have a good influence on you?
Yeah, very much so. Like, even though it was different from Bob could roll about, like jump the starts and that. But remember going to Sheffield, he set me clutch up because I was struggling. And I went and did a practice start. I looped it. Lee was with us, and he was only a little kid then. And this bloke started laughing next to Bob. And Bob just grabbed him by the throat. He said, "That's my boy. I don't want to see you laugh again."
Brilliant. Oh, well, yeah. Not Mr. Norris, look, he just said, I remember he said he was doing fishing and that in Fairford. He said, "Fairford was my second home in the COVID days. I'm buying Leah Shandy in your pub soon, Roscoe, but I need you to sort me out a tab / slate."
That's standard for Chuck.
I'll sort you out some drinks, my man. If you're going to come down, that would be cool. Little reminisce.
Yeah, we could have a good catch up. We can have a good old reminisce.
That would be brilliant if you did that.
There's all these other questions you got from different people. There must be some good ones.
Oh,
Come
yeah. Right, let's have a look.
You've got hundreds.
Yeah, there's literally I was about 2 hours behind on everything. Everyone was writing. Right, let's have a look at some of these. What's this? Who does Roscoe think would win between the poolsides of 2010 or the Cradley 1983 team? I know it's a different era, but
again, it's all about eras, isn't it? In Speedway, when
it's
like when you say like riders, who's the best? Everybody keeps saying Ivan was the best of the best. Ivan was the best in his era, in my humble opinion. And I know people will go, "Oh, you can't say that about Sir Ivan." But I got on well with Ivan at the end of my career because I rode in his long track meeting. I used to go and I stayed at his house and everything out on the Gold Coast. Him and Ray were absolutely lovely to me.
Yeah.
Me and David Blackburn, we stayed there, like fed us. We went out on his boat, everything. Like just took us all around the Gold Coast on it, But it's all about eras. Like for me, Ricardson in that middle era, he was the best of the best.
Yeah.
And like now, you got to say, if you're looking at consistency, I'll say Smarslick's the best at the moment. It's all about eras. It's difficult.
Talking about eras, Gary just said throw them all on a Westlake.
Yeah. I got to say, I did a meeting at Poole, and I did on the old 2 valves.
Yeah.
I forgot how slow they really were. Like, you think they were like really quick.
Yeah.
But when you go on them, you go, come on, I want more.
Yeah,
like,
was it like Jesus?
Like, unbelievable. You got on it, you're thinking, I'm going to struggle. They're easy to turn and all that, but you're just like going, I want more. Like, trying to race the guy in front, like.
Just turned on. Hi, boys, Mr. Gorilla
H.
Man from the Western. Magic Man as well.
Magic Man, Boat Man,
Elvis.
Man,
yeah.
Elvis.
Loves it all, doesn't he?
Loved the building.
I went there and he did some magic with my missus, and we were like, what the fuck? He was mental.
He blew it. My kid, my little one and that, he comes in and doing it, and then he starts doing it into the pub, and like, he's got everybody fixed. He's got them all eating out of his hands. He's like, brilliant.
Yeah, literally.
He's a good entertainer. He's valued for money.
He's a proper showman for sure.
Yeah.
Honey on here as well. Hi, Honey. She put, always loved watching Roscoe at Exeter. Did you enjoy your time down there?
Oh, I loved it. Colin Hill, the era with Colin Hill was truly amazing. We called it the True Print days because we used to go in the bar, have a couple of beers, and then Colin would come out. He'd go in when we go on our tours. He'd go into the service station.
Yeah.
And he'd nick all the True Print photos, you used to send away to get your films developed.
Yeah.
So we'd get all our cash. Mark Loram, Scoey, me, riding for Paul. He used to put all the cash in after the meeting, all in envelopes in these True Prints. So he was but he was such a lovely guy, and I loved the Exeter track.
A lot of people were scared of it, wouldn't they? So was it always good?
Great. So many breakdowns on that M5, it was amazing. So many riders broke down on that M5, and
a lot of illness and stuff.
A lot of illness and rider replacements and that.
I've heard my Uncle Martin used to have quite a bit of illness.
Really good people down there. And I started there in '83. I went at the end of '82. I made my debut at Crayford.
Yeah.
I think there's a photo of me in an Exeter jacket, and I said to you on today's thing, that was my debut at Crayford. I got 3 paid 4 or something, my debut. And then I went signed on full time in '83. And I went back there in 1996 when it was one league. Mark Loram, Simon Wigg, Michael
that
Cole.
was good. Yeah, I like that.
That was fantastic. Paul Fry.
Yeah, that was good.
Peter Jeffrey. We had our first away win on the road, first time in about 15, 20 years.
I see everyone still talks about, a few people were bringing it up in the comments as well about old Susie.
It's funny. It's like she still speak. She's still down to earth. Always says hello on Twitter and stuff.
Does she?
It's like, again, it's a bit like her. And now look at Laura Woods. Laura Woods started at Speedway in the back of the ME unit.
Yeah, bloody hell.
And then she did a couple of meetings when either Susie or Sophie or they couldn't make it. Yeah. Sophie was good at it too.
Yeah, I think I remember that as well. That one was on the TV.
That was Ronnie Allen. I can remember that. I went to go around the outside and Robbo put me in the fence.
Yeah. Not good old days on the Speedway cameras and all that. Did you enjoy it at Wolves as well?
Yeah, that was good. Good time. I was riding with Nicky. We were 4 and 5 together. And that's where my friendship sort of become with Nicky. It was a good time.
Yeah, you might have to get on at him. He's been talking to me for about 2 or 3 years saying he's going to come on and everything. And everyone wants to see him on here, but keeps shunning me. There's what about the Oxford as well? I remember this is the one with the maximum, is it?
Yeah, this is the night I got my first top flight maximum.
I was there as well.
Jan Steckman was in the team. Sam Ermolenko.
Yeah.
That was my first. I think that's the lad. Oh, I can't. Somebody will prick me, but I know who he is. Not Swales. One of the northern, the Cumbrian lads.
What, the one on the inside? Is that Dickens?
Yes.
Dickens, is it?
Lee Dickens.
Lee Dickens, that's it. Lee Dickens, yeah. That's it.
But yeah, that was it. I got me maximum that night.
Yeah, I was actually there as well. I think it was, I was there.
And I come from the back. I did it the hard way too.
Very, really. Look at the dirt as well.
Yeah, look, it's Boise on the outside.
Yeah. Look at that. Looks it's not no stuff going on there, is there?
Yeah.
What about the time at Kings Lynn?
That was good, and unfortunately, the money just sort of disappeared after the overseas final, didn't it? That was good. Like Bill Barker and Alan Littlechild, team manager. It was friendly. Henke Gustafsson, Mark Lorem,
Good riders
Gary
there,
Allen.
Good riders there.
Yeah, I think that's down at where would that be? That's at Kings Lynn, yeah. No, that's at Paul.
Paul, yeah, I was going to say, you can see the JTC behind you.
Yeah, because he's in red. So that would have been at Paul.
Mm. So was like, some really early day ones here. Is this the
Sprockets?
Sprockets, yeah. See,
you've got Terry Broadbank, Brian Butterfield, Kevin Smart, Steve Bishop, Gary Chesil, Neil Ferguson, David Smart, Mark Chesil, David Main, and yours truly.
Bloody hell. All them become sort of Neil was a photographer, some of them are mechanics, and they're the Broadbank.
Yeah, I think Mark Chesil's doing quite well with the enduro stuff now.
Oh, is
Gary
he?
Chesil's moved to Wales.
Oh, is he?
Bish is still about in Bristol. Kevin Smart.
Yeah, that was bloody sad with David.
Yeah, very sad. Kevin was repairing jet washes up here. Brian Butterfield's just recently moved down to St Austell. His son works for me behind the bar, Lewis. Brody, he still works in Wales, in Bridgend.
Did you ride for Trelawney for a while down there?
Yes.
As well, didn't you? Yeah. What was that like there? Because that was a bit of a mad place, wasn't it?
I was a replacement. Like Steve Masters was down there. Emilio Sanchez, Matty Zagar.
Yeah, I remember Zagar.
I came in for Seaman and I never scored nothing less than 11 points down there. It was a great racing track at St Austell. Picturesque at night.
Yeah, I never went there, but I've seen the pictures. It looked mad. It was sort of in a quarry, wasn't it? Almost
in a quarry, and there was like this chemical in the water. It made it like really blue, and then they put the lights on the cliff at night, and the green, the reds, and that. It looked a stunning place, and a great racing track.
Yeah.
Once you got used to it. It was my early days at Sprockets. That's at Mildenhall, I think.
That's definitely Ben.
Yeah.
Nice.
Back in the days where you used to put thing on so you didn't get dirty, put overalls on.
Yeah, I remember them. I think Dad and I've seen. Yeah, Dad and Martin. I remember seeing some of them. The old Weymouth, wasn't it? Was it Weymouth Wildcats? Was it?
Yeah. I'd left Exeter then to go to Mervyn Shoots, who rung me up to go there in '84.
Yeah.
And I went down there as number 1. And that's when Trapper come back that middle of the year.
Some nice ones.
Early days at Swindon, second half. That's the one from Crayford.
Ah, that's the one.
And if you look, there's a Crayford guy behind.
Oh, yeah, just behind you.
My debut. That was my debut for Exeter. I was working in British Rail at the time.
Was you?
In the stores. And I got a phone call from a manager saying, Peter Oates is on the phone. Will you travel up to Crayford and ride for Exeter? Ah. And that's where it all moved on from there.
What's that on the old race jacket then?
Wendy's Hair Fashion.
That's it.
Phil Maplethorpe was his wife had a salon. Old Dow Freight Bus.
Nice. We had one of them for Motocross.
Yeah, I had the new shape. I bought a brand new one. And
did you?
First week I got it on the Saturday, and then me and Frankie and Phil Vernon drove out to Russia.
Oh yeah.
The following week.
They were good old ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding, the old tick over on them.
No, that was a Perkins in that one. I remember going to the under-21 in Germany, and we had a head gasket one, and we changed it. Phil Vernon changed the head gasket in the services on it.
Bloody hell. Good old days.
Yeah.
Got some cool ones, look, from the Swindon.
Yeah.
Remember them. That's in the 80s, wasn't it? 84, 85, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Busk, bloody hell.
Billy Busk.
Yeah,
Trapper, Ari, Bo, Crumpy, Bjorn Anderson, Per Sorensen.
Bloody hell.
John Tremblin.
Yeah, John Tremblin. He was always at Oxford as well, wasn't he? With Bernard Crapper and that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had some successful years as well, didn't they? Bloody hell.
That's the year Simo didn't like me. He wasn't very, very nice to me in his memoir book.
Wasn't he? Why?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he slated me in there.
What was it about then?
Just saying, always laughing and joking all the time.
Fucking hell. Bit harsh, isn't it? Lighten up, Malk.
Yeah.
He was a good rider, though, wasn't he? Bloody good rider.
He was a good rider.
Oh, actually, can you remember all that controversial stuff as well when he sort of come out and admitted that he was like throwing points for money and?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was controversial.
So he wasn't really in the right position to be slating me in his book when he was doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Me and my brother from another mother, Jimmy.
Jimbo, love Jimbo.
Yeah.
How is he? Have you spoke to him lately, Roscoe?
The last, obviously, his son got killed in America,
Christ,
didn't he?
So that's why I've not
been in a good place, really. I think he's a bit better now, but
yeah, I wanted to get him on here. He was going to, but I didn't want to even. Yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it? Bloody hell,
awful.
Crazy. Loved Jimmy. Loved him. He was one of my.
I think that's Lars Munkadale behind me there.
Yeah, remember him? Bloody hell, that was a name as well, wasn't he? I loved these years. I remember that. That's 87. Look, so I was 10.
Stephen Rose, Connie, Jimmy, Brian, Rickard, Mitch.
Yeah, I remember you in because I did speak to him, and I was going to do an interview with him as well. I remember you two having the matching levers.
F&J, yeah.
Yeah, I think you was at 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 together, something like that. I remember.
Yeah, 3 and 4, I think.
3 and 4, yeah, I remember that. That was good times as well. Wee.
Hey.
Love it. That's a good picture as well. The ad for Robbins.
Yeah.
Is that
Andy
more?
Smith.
Or was that Andy Smith? Oh, yeah, Smith, Andy Smith. Trying to get him on as well. I used to love Bo Peterson as well. What was Bo Peterson like? Because I don't really know.
Bo was good. He had a really a massive spot. Ivan Henry, that was the promoter at Arena Essex.
Just cut off then. And hold on, it's just cut off then. It's just cut off then, Roscoe. All we heard was a massive, and I thought, oh no.
No, Bo was really good. He was really helpful. But he had a big sponsor in Ivan Henry. Bo used to just come over and like he had the best of the best equipment.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, really. Right. For a big guy, he was a very talented motorcyclist, Bo Peterson.
Yeah, I remember him. I enjoyed him. Him and Crampy was good.
I think that's Finn Jensen. That's Bo, Eric,
Eric,
Jensen, me on the outside.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Eric. Love these days as well. The Walker Jackson ones.
The Iceman. The Iceman.
He was good as well, wasn't he? He was crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't mind sticking it down the inside and all that, I remember. I loved that team. Bloody Ron, bless him as well. He was. What was he like as a team manager, Roscoe?
He was good as gold, Ron. Yeah. Good as gold, Ron.
You know when they say like footballers take it from team managers, like they use things that they've had. Did you do that? Did you take anything from the good team managers? Did you take anything, put it into yours, or did you just do your own thing?
Well, as I said, my early days were too raw, and that. But I think that the best thing was when he was teaming up with Pratty. It was just so good and just so level, calm.
I did love that team.
Was that Bellevue?
That's the
That's
old
the Danish rider behind.
No,
it's Graham Jones.
Oh, is it Graham Jones?
Yeah, he's looking at the levers.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that. He always had the gold rims as well, didn't he? So
yeah.
I noticed you always used to have the old gold rims as well.
Blue and gold is my colour.
Yeah, I like that.
Blue and gold.
Look bloody nice. Your bikes were always well turned out and all that all the time.
I spent probably more than I should have done. So like at the end of it, I had never had nothing to show for it. But at the end of the day, you're only in it a short time and you got to give it everything.
Yeah. You was always bloody good on the old. We was talking about the ice speedway earlier. You was always good at that as well. Did you just take to that, or was there a bit of an art to it?
Just quite lucky, really.
Don't know if it was about lucky.
I I think it was around about 97, that one.
Did you borrow that helmet? Because I never remember seeing you with
Yeah,
a
no,
BFE
I
helmet.
think I can't remember what happened that year.
Mm.
I think that's the year I come back from Australia and my helmets hadn't arrived back from Aussie.
I was going to say, I don't remember ever you using the BFE helmet.
No,
Yeah,
it's not. I don't know what happened.
He was good as well, was he?
Andy, the old Guildford Yuppie, Andy Campbell. Used to
He was
nickname
always,
the Guildford Yuppie.
what was that his name? He was always good indoors as well, wasn't he? He was,
He was good. He had a good
stuff.
setup. He had it sussed. He did early doors.
Yeah.
It was about getting the setup with him, making the thing just drive around the ice.
Yeah, because Jan Anderson was a bit mega at that as well.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Another good one.
That's the one when I come back from Australia. That one. That's my Australian. So I smashed my helmet and I had to buy an Arroy in Australia. That was a clip-on from Arroy one.
Yeah. Mr. Morris as well, huh?
Wayne Carter.
Yeah.
Simon Cross.
Who's that next to Cross then?
Andy Campbell. And I'm trying to think who the lad is at the back.
Yeah, I was just about to say, who's that between Cross and Morris?
Film, I can't think.
Yeah, someone I know.
Yeah.
There's another one with you and
me and the Welshman, the two Welshmen together, boyo.
yeah. Not allowed to bring up rugby or anything like that.
It's all right, you can talk rugby.
Depends how England is doing. Otherwise, I don't want to. That was like the concrete
that was
one.
The indoor at Wembley Arena.
Yeah, what was that? What was the difference? Was that then, Roscoe, to the ice? What was the difference?
Because I did one at Wembley and I did one at Birmingham as well.
Mm.
But that was hard. You had to keep it revving, otherwise you'd end up shooting straight past it.
Yeah, Jan Steckman.
Yeah, Steckers is good on the ice too. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, really good. To me, if you want to look at a role model, I always said Lee Adams was one of the most professionally kitted out rider.
Oh yeah.
But obviously he was at the very, very top. Jan was a very successful speedway rider, but Jan's equipment was mint. And I always say, if you want to follow anybody, the equipment that Jan Steckman, how he turned out, was absolutely immaculate. Steckers was mint. It was absolutely. I always used to say, if you want to follow a role model, look somebody and want to be well presented, just following Jan Steckman's footsteps.
What was the? Because how did he end up? Because he ended up as the team manager at Swindon as well, didn't he? I thought that was. Didn't expect that one. How did that come about? Do you know?
I don't know. I was at Coventry, wasn't I?
I wonder how that came about. I thought didn't see that come. I didn't see that one come in at the time, but
no.
Yeah, different one. Phil Elkins just put. Does Roscoe remember the funny interview he did with Alan Moggeridge? It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
The old rerun video days.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
It's a rerun video, Dave. Steve Gerwin, he'd have it. You'd sit on the end of Roscoe. Do you know what? What's that, Moggo? You would sit on the end of a table. We was at Ipswich for the thing, and we just did this script, and it was just. I do remember it. It was hilarious.
Sounds it.
Roscoe. I can't remember it, but once you see it, it will all come back like that. But we just sat on the end of the picnic bench, each side on each other's chins like that. Moggo, what do you reckon about tonight then? Well, we're going to beat you, aren't we? And just stupid things like that. It was quite hilarious.
Yeah, it sounds like Phil's watched it and he enjoyed it, so I'd like to try and find that then. That sounds good. That was another one of the pairs wins. You won a couple then, didn't we?
Yeah, we won with Lee, the late Lee Richardson at Peterborough.
Yeah, Peterborough, I remember
we won
that.
At Swindon with Charlie and Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old days.
That was in Spain. That was in the Olympic Stadium next to in Barcelona.
Is that Peter Glanz, isn't it?
That I'll tell you, Steve Lawson, Peter Schropp, Graham Jones, Tony Briggs, Peter Glanz, and myself.
Bloody hell.
Fair, it's only a demonstration thing, but there was a massive trophy. And I think Glanzy was meant to win it. And I passed him going over the line. I come home with a big trophy. They weren't very happy at the time. Graham Drury went mad.
Oh, that's brilliant.
No, I passed him on the last lap. We went down the back straight. He was going that slow, and
You nearly running into it.
I just carried on, and I won the race. And they go, Roscoe, you want to win it? Clancy was meant to win it. We agreed. Oh yeah, sorry. We drove from Swindon over to Barcelona for that. They did like indoor trials. The American flat track champion, Jordi Torres, the trials champion from Spain on gas.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. I remember him.
Yeah, he was a nice guy too. What a lovely guy he was.
All right, I'm not sure if
that was another one of Drury and Thomas's thing. Got us all out there just to try and get Speedway involved.
I don't know who this is actually. Hiley and Roscoe in the 2009 meeting, Swindon v Poole, when Poole had 5 engine failures and 1 tape break. There was also accusations of them manipulating their riders' averages. What was the outcome of this? Were Poole really cheating? Don't know who that is, but yeah, no idea.
Read it all you like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we ever did it at Swindon. I mean, I know Matt Ford, that year we won it in 2010.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the time. Pavlicki had a crash in Germany on the Sunday, and he rang me up and he said he wasn't feeling too good. But I genuinely did not know. But by keeping him out of that meeting on the Friday at Coventry, kept him in reserve for the playoffs. And he said that I manipulated it for him to get there.
Yeah, I remember,
People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah. Was that the one when Bomber got run over and then
that's the one.
Ran to the pits? Like what?
Yeah, and Pavlicki was at reserve and he scored about 16 points.
Yeah, that went down well.
Yeah, it went down like a sandwich.
Yeah. I'm sure did you have any good relationships with mechanics over the years?
Yeah, quite a few, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, quite a few. We had like lots of mechanics over the years. Stevie Norman, Swerve, back in the days. Well, Stevie Norman's boy Seth's doing it at the moment, isn't he? Just rode in the World Finals in Gdansk last weekend. He lost the runoff and come 4th in the world.
What did you have? You had some good sponsors as well, didn't you, through the years?
Funny enough, I didn't really. That year I went to King's Lynn. I had Alan Holton, and everybody that went to Poole got a van, and I never got a van. Apart from my first 2 years, I had a brand new transit van from McNicholas, and after that, it kind of struggled. And then when I ended up, Poole loaned me out to King's Lynn in 90. When was it? 90. When did I go to King's Lynn? Can't remember. But only that year, I had a van from a guy in Poole. I was travelling up from Poole to King's Lynn every week for a home meeting, which is quite tough, really. It's a long way from down the south coast.
Yeah, that's a fair way. What was the actual reason? Because it was early 2000s, wasn't it? What was the reason? I'm pretty sure I know, but what was the reasons you retired and what was the...
2002, I basically... I was riding for Oxford in 2002.
Yeah.
Basically, I basically guessed him for Poole on a bank holiday Monday. And the first meeting, I ended up wrecking my bike and only had one bike. And then Yanni Kalenko, a Slovenian rider, was riding and he picked up and clipped Henke Gustafsson's back wheel. Yeah. I ended up smashing myself into the Poole pit metal gate because there was no air fences then. Harry broke his arm in the same meeting. So he broke his arm in heat 1. I was out in heat 2. And Matt, I come back, slammed in the fence. I was down for ages. Couldn't get up. My leg was stiff as anything. Matt's making me get up and do star jumps. Jump, bend your knee, keep the adrenaline. I made the start. I was on Lars Gunnarstad's bike. Made the start, went down the back straight, put my leg down, put my foot down on the foot peg to put the pressure. It was like 1,000 volts went through my leg. I just rolled in the centre green and just fold over. I ended up in hospital. And the funny thing was, they were going to release me that night. I ended up staying in hospital for 2 months.
Bloody hell.
They kept me in Poole for 3 weeks. They were waiting for a doctor to do. I ruptured all 3 of my major ligaments in my knee.
Yeah.
And then a guy come from Australia did this same surgery. It was back day before keyhole surgery. So basically cut right down your kneecap from the top right down, opened it up and repaired it. And I ended up there for 3.5 weeks too.
Bloody hell. Because you've just recently, not long, had, was that the same knee or a different knee?
No, same knee, had a knee replacement on the thing. And that was where, when people do like the thing, I had a big help from the Riders Benevolent Fund.
Oh, yeah.
I've done so many meetings over the years for them. I've done the team managing bits for them.
Yeah.
And I rung them up looking for assistance. Paul Ackroyd come back a day later and happy to donate a certain amount. You know, like a massive. Like without that, I'd be struggling now massively.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I got my life back. I got my life back.
Is it much better? Is it feeling good at the moment?
Oh, it's massive. It's unbelievable. Zero pain at all.
That's brilliant.
Amazing.
That's good. That's good, mate.
That's all down to, a lot of that was down to the Riders Benevolent Fund. So when riders say they can't be bothered to do it or they're too busy, do it. You never know when you might need them.
Yeah, make the effort. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go with, what would your favourite 1 to 7 of Swindon all time with you as a manager?
Manager, whoa! Now you're trying to tax my brain.
Yeah.
When I was manager,
if you so it'd be an all-time Swindon 1 to 7, but as having you be the manager of it, so you can have anyone 1 to 7 in the whole of the
over the years.
Yeah.
Well, Phil Crump would have to be one. He's my hero.
Yeah, he was my first hero actually.
Yeah, Lee would be in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Doyley.
Yep.
I can't remember if I managed with Boise or not. I don't think I did. No, I didn't.
95 when after his one-off third in the world. I remember he comes to Swindon. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I'm just trying to think the riders out over the years. Troy Batchelor. Troy, I love Troy. People said it was an enigma, but Troy was a good one that would respond to you. There's a lot of Aussies in there, isn't there?
There is, isn't there?
Who else was there?
Bart Bast.
Bart, he was a strange guy. He was.
Was he?
Went back to America and parked in the short stay at the time. Got a bill for about 300 quid, and back then that would be equivalent to about 700-800 quid nowadays.
Yeah.
Went home for the national titles and parked the Swindon van in the thing.
I actually contacted him on Facebook as well, Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah, tried to get him on, but
I'm just trying to think. Give me some names, Lee. You're the geek.
Yeah, I am a bit of a geek. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. How did you get on with Hans Andersons and all them guys?
Hans was good. Hans was another good one. He was good to be around.
That year that we won the title, he was bloody good.
I enjoyed Peter Kilderman.
Yeah.
I couldn't say there's 7, but obviously the obvious Crumpy and Lee and Jason Doyle. And until he changed a bit, Matty Zagar was pretty good too.
What do you mean changed a bit?
Just likes himself a bit, doesn't he?
Oh, does he? I didn't know. I don't actually know.
But he's a great guy, but he just takes everything too personal.
Oh, did he?
I rode with him at Trelawney. He was totally different then, but now he's like he's like
right.
the Iceman, isn't he? Out of Top Gun, isn't he? What's his name?
Oh yeah. I know you're on about. Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's like that, is he?
Yeah, he's pretty confident of himself, was Matty.
Who, if he was Iceman, then who was Maverick?
Maverick. Oh. Boise.
Boise. He was good fun, was he?
Oh, Boise, brilliant. Legend. Absolute legend. That's so many good times. Another underrated rider over the years.
I remember when he went close to that world title when he was riding. Was it? No,
I was in Denmark that night. I was on stood
Was
with
ya?
Ronnie Corrie and that. We were all on there, like we'd gone over there to watch it, like
Yeah, so he was in the runoff, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. And then I think he went to Swindon the following year, so we were well excited.
yeah,
He rode well for Swindon as well, number one.
yeah.
Kevin's piped up, Ashby, Richardson.
Scotty Autry was good. Brigo, Kilby.
Yeah, so many like legends wise.
Yeah. I couldn't pick a 7. It'd be very difficult.
Who was your heroes when you were younger then, Roscoe? When you were looking at, obviously, I know you hang around the Swindon team from a young kid. Who was your? Did you have a few idols? Who were your favourites?
I mean, obviously, Bob was like a big part of my time and everything, and I looked up to him massively.
Yeah.
Say Phil Crump, amazing guy. Lucky to travel with him. Stayed with him in Australia. Travelled with him backwards and forwards from Brisbane to Mildura. A 22-hour drive. Did that for 4 weeks solid.
Bloody
Every
hell.
Thursday we'd leave Thursday evening, drive up to get to Brisbane Friday, do the meeting, drive back.
Massive old place, isn't it, Australia?
Yeah.
Like America.
But yeah. No, Phil would be up there with him, and Lee, obviously, and
What were your? Let's do
Martin was classy. Martin was so classy.
Pity didn't make starts. You would have done something in the worlds.
Yeah, definitely.
You had to then, didn't you? When they were all on the same level. When you couldn't
Norman
start.
Hunter was a funny bloke
Back
in the day.
That was the moustache one, wasn't it? He,
hey,
yeah, the old moustache thing.
Yeah. He was a character. He was a hell of a
Was
character. A rum character. Norman was.
What about favourite tracks in the UK and ones you didn't like so much in the UK?
I struggled at Eastbourne. Sorry, Flop. But I think when they moved it wider, I got grips with it a little bit better. But you had to turn it even harder.
Yeah, because they moved
or
back.
You just have to run in, go up to the fence, then hook off the corner. But when it was the old track, couldn't get my head. It was just 4 abreast going in that narrow like that, and I just couldn't get my head around it. So I'd probably say Eastbourne, the old style track.
Yeah.
So narrow going in to turn 1, 4 abreast.
Yeah. What about Lakeside? Because that was a trick track as well. Did you get on with that, Lakeside?
I had up and down meetings there. Some good, some shockers.
What was your favourite?
Peterborough was one of my favourite. And Bradford, Halifax.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
They had good banking, didn't they? There in Roscoe, didn't it? The Shay and that.
Bradford was amazing. It was really good up there. Huge. It was good. That was a good track.
That was good, wasn't it? That bloody world final that was there, and that was good. The Prayer one, that was. I remember watching that on Screen Sport. Remember Screen Sport? Bloody hell.
Clive Fisher.
Yeah, Clive. Left Clive. Is he still? He's still all right, isn't he, Clive? I was seeing him when I was doing the Wildcats. He was always around.
Yeah.
He's got that voice as well, isn't he? As soon as he speaks on the centre green, you just close your ears. It's like the golf commentator's job.
Yeah.
Love him. Any weird and wonderful superstitions?
If I had a good meeting, I'd wear the same goggles, long johns underneath my Kevlars, gloves.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't have such a good one, then I'd change.
Love that.
But every time I always wear the same one straight after.
Did you?
Yeah. Wash them, but would always wear the same ones that I wore. Socks, everything.
Who were your favourite rider to team ride wise for clubs and then for the country?
I say club wise would be Boise.
Yeah.
Craig Boyce was excellent.
Did you mix it up, or did one of you take the inside, one take the outside? Was there a plan?
It didn't matter. Like we'd just work out if somebody would go in and then just one would move and stuff like that.
All right.
Country, luckily enough to ride in quite a few. Neil Evitts was pretty good.
Yeah.
Neil was pretty good to ride with. Because he was classy on a bike, could really ride a bike good.
Didn't he won the British final, didn't he?
Yeah, Neil won the British final a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? Did you prefer to be part of a team, or did you like individual meetings?
I struggled. I think my individual side struggled. I didn't seem to do much. I think I've come second or third in the Stelrad Open in up in Edinburgh at the old Powder Hall track.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my only individual success came in Australia.
Was it?
In the Johnny Hoskins Memorial, which I still have on video and show my kids every now and again.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
And also I've got a video when somebody sent me when I rode at Paul Narlin's old track, the old Eskilstuna track. It was Per Jonsson, Ollie Tillervainen, Henke Gustafsson and me. And I won it. And Per had just become world champion and I won it by a proverbial mile.
Did you?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I've never been to the track before, ever.
Nice.
Took my own bikes over there to Eskilstuna and rode it in this individual meeting. Peter got me in it.
This is a nice one. I'll just see this come up from Dave Champion here. Brilliant watching, boys. Great interview. Don't change, Roscoe. Sending love from Big Dog, Ali's mechanic. Paul, National League champions, 1989. Alan's actual words: when things were simple and easy, no politics, happy days. Special times, magic times.
It was because you could get away with it. It was no social media. I mean, like Big Dog will tell you, back in the day, the things that we did at Paul, we were like celebrity superstars at Paul back in the day. And it was when there was no social media. I remember Pete Ansell. We'd race on a Wednesday night and we'd go up to the venue at Tower Park on a Wednesday night. And this one night we very rarely got beat, but we got beat at home, which was a shock. Me, Boise, Lango, and all the lads who all went at the venue, and we were probably pretty sideways. Next day, the boss is on the phone. Got people moaning on the phone saying he lost last night. Like the one meeting we probably lost in our whole time ever at Paul. And you're all out getting peed up at the Tower Park venue. It was brilliant up there. It was like amazing time. Like to say, it was like you look at footballer styles at a free house, everything. Like it was celebrity days. It was unbelievable.
Like you said, now he's like deadly.
You'd have to like just sneeze and do something or do anything. Somebody's got you. All those social media gone. Can't get away with it. So
do you
say that them eras, them days were the better days. Because you weren't scrutinised so much.
Would you have been in trouble, Mr. Norris, if the old camera phones had been out in the day?
He had his fair share of good moments. It was flop.
What about what was I going to say? I had a good one then. Where's it gone? Oh, my mind's just gone. Oh, I had a good one to ask as well then. Damn. What was your closest friends as well over the years in Speedway, Roscoe? Who's the people that were close to you in the sport?
Again, it was probably Craig Boyce over the years, like really close with Lango and that. You know, I had my big mechanic, Big Malcolm Constable. Used to be track together in my early days. Terry Ockwell lent me a car.
Oh, Terry, Neil's dad,
Terry and Lynn Ockwell.
I love Lynn,
Neil's dad, he lent me his, I think it was a Ford Granada.
Was it?
I got up and thinking the car rolled back, but I was pulling out and I just clipped him on the corner.
Oh, wow.
I kept breaking down on this time. Notes he was going to drop me if I was late the following week.
Was he?
They're like Terry and Lynn lent me their car.
Bloody hell. That's what I was going to ask. It's just coming back into my head again now. Who, when you watch, so obviously you watch the GPs on TV. Do you watch like the British League? Is it Monday nights, isn't it, normally on the Eurosport? Do you watch all that as well?
Yeah.
And who excites you when you watch the Speedway now on the TV? I know it's not the same. For me, it's not the same on the TV. It's hard to explain with people that don't know live because it sort of takes it away, the speed and all that. But obviously, who excites you? Who excites you when you watch race meetings now, GPs and league matches? Who gets you on the edge of your seat when you're watching?
I mean, obviously Emil was good. Doyley, Doyley's been like when he struggled for speed, but just the sheer will and determination to will. All the crap he's taking at the moment of getting died, matey boy. You know, it was never ever Smarsley. It was never good. People got to realise when a bike goes in the corner, the back end. Smarsley had to go straight, otherwise he knew once he was turning, the back end's going to kick out, and he took Doyley off, and in Poland, and then everybody said Doyley's chucking it down the track. Absolutely scandalous. Again, this is what frustrates you when you see these so-called experts.
Yeah, never ridden bikes in the life.
But no, like Tony Rickardson used to love it, and with Crumpy as well in the thing. But Dan Bewley excites me a lot. Robert Lambert, because I was the one that actually gave Robert, a 17-year-old youngster, his debut for Great Britain.
Yeah, he's done well for himself since then as well, hasn't he?
Very well. He's moved on.
Red Bull as well, hasn't he? Red Bull.
Yeah, he's got Red Bull, which is a big thing. But he's a good lad. Took a while to crack, but once we got there, we got on exceptionally well. Like, he excites me. Jack Holder. Jack come of age today. I think I made a comment a couple of years ago when I literally named, I said, these will be the wild cards. And Jack put on there harsh. Because obviously he had a good couple of meetings towards the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
I felt he needed one more season.
Yeah.
And I think that proved right.
Yeah, he's been right. Yeah, it's definitely, he's coming.
But like Jack excites me on it. Obviously, Smarsley is great.
Yeah. Well, something's just come in my head as well. I don't know if you saw. I posted up a video the other day because someone sent me it. Did you see the thing with Ty upending that Polish fan? Oh. I was thinking to myself, I was thinking,
well, again, you make a comment and then it all just escalates. It goes silly, but really was the guy who wasn't really doing nothing. He wasn't like aggressive, was he?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought.
I'm probably sure that Ty would, or he won't admit it, but I bet he deep down think, shouldn't have done that. Because it's the trouble, social media. Just get whacked.
Yeah.
You can't afford to be doing stuff like that. Whether he's right, if that guy come up and wanted to fight,
then fair enough.
But he just jumped down like that.
Yeah, and coming behind as well.
Nowadays, you just got to think you can't do that stuff. And whether they felt intimidated, I don't believe he would have felt intimidated. No. He couldn't have been felt intimidated. He upended him.
Yeah, I think the way it looked when he was facing the fans, I know he was like, celebrating in front of them or whatever he's doing.
Because obviously Lesno beat Roscoe.
Yeah, so he was like mocking him in front of him. But like you said, he didn't. If he'd have come same with being me, if he'd have come at me, you'd do something, but you wouldn't go out of your way. They had like armored police literally there, like, and a couple of seconds later, didn't they? And stuff like that. It's like didn't need to get involved.
I think he probably regretted his at the time, but or maybe not. I don't know.
Some sort of claim.
Yeah.
I think he got hurt. I think, but he went down on the old concrete and from behind as well.
Again, you're conflicting. So 1 minute said he broke his arm, but he didn't look like he broke his arm when he was walking.
No, straight after. But then
there's a lot of stories always go around. I don't know what happened.
I know, but hopefully,
again, I think he probably would have thought he would have been better not to have done that. That's what I'd say.
That's definitely a hindsight one. Yeah, that's definitely a hindsight one to talk. Right, I'll ask you a few more before we go. I appreciate your time. We've had a call. We've done 3 hours, Popolina. Check that out. Loads of people have been on all night as well, and it's been really good, really good. Everyone's gonna enjoy this when they watch it back. The people that haven't seen it. A couple of things.
Controversial. Anything controversial in there?
Everything seems to be controversial, doesn't it? Biggest influence on your career?
Jason Crump, Phil Crump, Boise.
Helped you out a lot.
Bob Kilby.
You had a testimonial, I remember. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Funny thing is, of all the years that I rode, 22 years I rode in Speedway.
Yeah. I
never got a farewell. Apparently, I'm still entitled to one.
Ooh. Well, that could be cheeky. Where?
Nice. see how well I'm like then.
Yeah.
Well, certainly with the riders anyway.
Paul or Oxford? It's got to be the options.
It'd have to be Paul.
Yeah. When are you all meeting at Paul? Because I was there. I went on a coach from Swindon to there.
Yeah. We had
really
obviously
good.
did his stunt team. Tony Rickardson came over all the way from Sweden. He wasn't riding in any teams, just doing the Grand Prix and Poland. and he drove over for nothing because I put him up many years ago.
Yeah, I went on the coach.
Nothing.
That's mental. Right? That's awesome. That's what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
That means a lot, doesn't it? As like you said, and yeah, I went there and it was brilliant. I remember it, and I went over the far side up and thing. You know, they turned the light off in the stand.
Remember when the cameraman, when he Matey Boy's going through the fire, and it like nearly caught Steve on Gerwin from rerun videos.
Oh, I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, it's funny. It was.
So that must be on DVD or film or
Yeah.
tape, wasn't it? Yeah, because that was bloody good riders there. You had a hell of a lineup, wasn't it?
It was good. I was looking at it the other day. I got the program out. Sam, Billy Hamill, Boise.
I remember it was a mint lineup.
Ricardson, Amanda Castagna.
Yeah, I'm getting Manda on as well, by the way. I've been speaking to him. Yeah, that'd be cool.
He's a good guy. He was always good on. He was always nice. He would looked after me at the Grand Prix and that.
So what's the chances of this farewell thing then?
Who knows?
Can you speak to Matt, can you? Or?
No, Matt's basically okayed it whenever. I think they're going to want to do it when they haven't got so many riders that have got testimonials on or something.
Yeah. Is this a possible next year then type of?
Or the year after, I don't know. But like I say, I'm entitled to it because I gave 20 odd years service, and
yeah, that'd be
whilst
cool.
I had a testimonial, I never got a farewell.
All right then. Being a bit, what riders? How do I put this? What riders did you not like racing with, and always seemed to come?
I used to hate riding with Phil Morris back in the day, but I looked on really good with Phil.
Yeah, he was a little bit naughty, wasn't he?
Yeah, Phil liked to put it about a bit. Yeah,
on the inside and that. Yeah, I remember dive bombing.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Bit sketchy. Anyone else sketchy? You know, like. Didn't like riding round and knowing that, you know.
I had that bust up with Walshy because he used to do the old left chicanes down the straight, didn't I?
Oh,
I got banned from the meeting. Barry Richardson banned me from the meeting when I at the box with a steel shoe in my hand. Told me he needed a police escort out of there, and he promptly told me he was chief of police in Exeter.
Oh yeah, I actually read about that the other day when I was looking for some stuff of you.
It's on one of them bits of cuttings you got.
Yes, that's what I read it on. Yeah. And he said he went out there and you could
police,
have died.
Barry Richardson.
That's it. The trouble is though, little things like that, you know, you'd be on the phone and a few rider coming down to the thing and all like.
Well, I just carried on going. I went down the back straight under him, and he turned halfway down the straight.
Yeah.
And I carried on going. He come off, and then I got excluded. Really, Barry?
I like that one as you. There's a video of you as well, isn't there, with the old classic, you know, go back. You went back down to the start. Was that same one, maybe?
Same meeting. I went through the tapes. I wouldn't go out. Rick Miller was like, "Oh man, Alan's gonna get in trouble now. He just needs to not be silly and just go back to the pits."
So you went down to the line doing that, like, I'm coming back.
And Ray, Daffodil come up. Ray Morse.
That's it. He did. He was like, "Come on!" Then he went,
Just dropped the clutch and went straight through the tapes.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Mr Norris has just put. Roscoe also gave me the use of his garage home after racing his Swindon to prepare my bike for Cardiff. A true gent. Oh, nice.
It was always an open house. My house was pretty much. Mark Loram used to ride in Germany over the weekend, travel back, get to bed early hours of the morning, and his mechanic Norrie would do it like when I rode for Exeter in '96. He used to always do his bikes at my place.
These are a good idea because I did actually speak to Mr. Peter Schrock at Oxford about doing, you know, I've done my reunion motocrosses. I was talking about a reunion speedway, but someone just said about that, like, if you did a farewell as well, like, Paul, get Boise, some of the old guys, and have a bit of a golden greats. Reckon a few people would turn up.
Yeah. I think the heads wants to do it, but you crash now, a bit like your dad.
Yeah.
A bit like your dad when he broke his leg.
I know. I remember that. That was Frank Shooter that come off in front of him and all that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Barry Briggs was in front of him, yeah. Me and Jamie was by the tyres, just by the corner. 3 best riders that you've ever ridden against in your career.
I wish these people wouldn't try and chuck me on the spot. Obviously, Rick Hardson was good. Hancock, Hamill.
Yeah.
Class.
And-
Hans Nielsen,
Yes.
the professor.
The professor.
The professor was truly amazing. He was like, just that Oxford track was that deep back in the day. I think that photo in the background there.
Yeah.
That's a 14 tournament or something at Oxford.
Yeah.
That's Oxford, I'm convinced it is. But the track used to be that deep and the hands used to come in flat stick. Like, we'd all come in like,
doing that, you know.
Honest God, and GR500, just rip it in.
Someone's just put rerun Robinson could referee your farewell meeting. Awkward.
Awkward, cheeky.
Yeah, awkward.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
classic.
them guys are amazing. Like, you know, Hans was like Billy and Greg. And it was always good to get their scout, beat him at Coventry and that. I remember going there in the first race, beating Greg in Heat 1.
Yeah.
And then beating Billy in Heat 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like the boys at the time, like, you know.
Yeah. And it was those two almost like.
He was a great guy. And I mean, when we did the Ivans meeting in '92, I sort of, when we were like traveling together and that, and he was a good bloke. Some blokes these Aussies started. We went to this place called Stradbroke Island, off of one of the islands up on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And we were coming back, and I think a couple of lads were chatting up a couple of the girls, and a couple of blokes were getting a bit shitty, and then they went to start on me. Went to have a go at me coming off the boat, and Wiggy was the only one that come up and stood out and started coming swinging like this, punching everybody, knocking them and everything. Get off in, like, you know.
Brilliant. Love that.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love going on when we used to do the ice meetings, like Gert Riss, Robert Bath.
They were bloody good, weren't they?
Yeah, the old boy, Carl Meyer and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That was back in the serious days, but I got on really well with all of them. Like Gert Riss, we do like England versus Germany, like in the bar, and do the Stein, drink him down. And Gert was so strong with his hand, like he was like an ox. Like,
was he?
Great
he was bloody good, wasn't he? He was always battling with Wiggy, wasn't he, on the old long track and all that. Yeah, I remember them. He was good, wasn't they? What about any teammates over the years that were a pain in the ass?
Oh, there's plenty of them over the years. Just trying to pull. Do you know, it's funny, we didn't really. I mean, it's funny, like, we had a few riders when I was team managing that didn't like a couple of the other riders that were in the team at times. I didn't really, there wasn't anybody that would stand out and go, oh my God.
That must be hard, Roscoe, because like you said, when it's not easy, is it? It's like football as well, I suppose, but like you've got 7 team members. They're all like generally sometimes different nations, things like that, different characters, different. It's not easy to get them to be on the same page, is it?
No, and they didn't like him because they wouldn't listen. And they tried to help him and stuff like that. And well, if he's not going to listen,
each other's way,
stuff him, get in your way. And what did you do that for? Take him wide and that, you know.
Yeah, well, they probably didn't even know what they were doing.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Sam had me off a couple of times at Wolverhampton. Rickard and Mitch were going to kill him that night. I remember that.
Was it?
It made the start with him. And he did his special thing. He got the old elbow and like that. And I went down, rerun, all 4 back in.
Yeah.
Went to go round him again. As he give me a big shove like that, then I just straightened up and went, you know, the fence coming out the pit gate. I went over the other side.
Yeah.
I can have there to restrain Mitch and Ricardo saying we're going to kill Sam that night.
Really?
Sam was quite hard.
Yeah.
Like, he was quite brutal at times.
I'll tell you what, Mitch Shearer was a bit fiery. He was like quite a small guy, wouldn't he? But I remember him always kicking off
on the wrong side of Mitch. I always was his mate.
Oh, lost you there. What happened there?
No, you did.
Oh, all right, go on then. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Mitch Shearer, he was.
Yeah, no, Mitch was a firing, but I got on well with Mitch, so I never had an issue there.
No.
But no, it's just not really. It's just like I say, Sam could be quite brutal at times.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. To be fair, though, I think a lot of them, that's what I always used to say about Lee. Adams, he was like one of the best riders of all time for me. Like his style and everything about him, professional.
Yeah.
Always top points everywhere, but he just didn't maybe have that little bit of edge like a Jason Crump or.
Well, it's like whether you go for the gap or ride the next day. If I crash, I'm going
Yeah.
to break the collarbone or
Yeah.
hurt something, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to ride them, or I'm not going to earn
Yeah.
5-6 grand or whatever. I think Lee was certainly a businessman in that.
Yeah, and I think like
calculate on things.
Yeah, and Crumpy would like if he had to run over his nan to win, he would.
Yeah, that was the difference.
That little bit, yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, I appreciate your time, mate. We've done 3.25 hours. Oh, Catherine just come on. Snowplow Sam.
Yeah, snowplow.
Snowplow Sam. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Who's that? Someone's put Peterborough 1 at Kings Lynn 46-44.
Oh, tonight?
That must be tonight then. Didn't realise there was anyone tonight. Oh, it's not on TV though, is it? But
no.
Interesting. We'll have to do this again. spit the roast over what's going on and all that.
Yeah.
After the season's
finished. I'd just say it's difficult at the moment because I say when people say, "Am I going to come back?" You know, it's got to be on my terms. But
yeah,
I'm actually doing quite well with a lorry driving.
Yeah.
And people giving Ollie Allen and Simon said a hard time at present. I think they've got the best 4 there that potentially are there, and that's not knocking the lads that are not in it.
Yeah,
it's a different culture from understanding somebody doing well at Poole or at Wolverhampton or that. You go over these tracks are a lot smaller. You need some serious machinery out there. You get found out.
Get swallowed up.
You just like get swallowed up.
We've definitely seen that over the years as well, haven't we?
They like me when I was Great Britain manager. It's certainly not for the money. It's more the prestige side of being doing the job, and a bit like Swindon as well. And that's what it would have to be right.
Yeah.
That I would come back, because I'd have to, I'm doing okay with the pub and the driving.
Yeah, so it's got to make sense as well. Yeah.
It's sad, but
never know then.
Never say never.
No.
I do. The one thing I do fancy having a crack at, crack in Poland.
Ooh.
So I just think you need to change your mentality. You must practice.
Because that would be an all-in one as well, wouldn't it? If you was doing that over there.
Yeah.
So.
At the moment, they've got the money that you could probably justify it.
Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Maybe Lejno. That would be one that I'd love to have a crack at.
Can Ashby the what do you want to call it, the chat man in between that can sound out what jobs are going in Poland?
Yeah, Ash has already started that.
Oh, has he?
Believe me, it wouldn't be easy because you're trying to do like the mentality.
That's a pressure one as well, isn't it? They're like haywire. Yeah. They're like Premiership football manager job style,
Yeah.
Lose one meeting and they're going like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that would be a cool thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Another bit on the CV.
Yeah. What Polish do you know?
Dziękuję.
Yeah, I've heard him.
Dobrze. Pivo. 2 pivo.
Might be better that you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting then. So we'll keep an eye. But we'll
like I said, Ollie and Simon, the money is not about money. It's about the prestige of doing job and people criticising them. As I said, I put a post out. I said, good job they never had social media back in the day when I was team manager. Tongue in cheek. They're saying exactly the same things about them. What they said about me. What they said about Midlow.
Yeah, it's just criticising for criticising's sake, though, isn't it? It's like boring.
Exactly. Everybody just wants to get on it, and they're picking their mates. They're picking their mates.
Like you said, I think you're right. Like you said, with the ones that have got setups over there, and that makes sense. That you've
got
no chance. If you went over there with your British setup, you've got no chance.
You wouldn't get away with your own British setup over there. Not a chance.
No, they don't get that, do they? David Champion's nice. UK Speedway needs your passion, experience, and leadership, Roscoe. Keep doing what you're doing, but never say never.
Never say never. I'd like I say, I did get my enthusiasm back when I did the Oxford one. It was a bit tarnished after we got beat quite heavily there. But
I was there as well.
I was reeled in on that.
Yeah.
It was nice to go down Paul and win down there.
Yeah.
Doyley said, "You don't want me in the last one." I said, "I don't want to draw, Doyley. I want to win it. I want you to go out and win it."
Yeah. Like
okay.
That. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I did get my mojo back a little bit then, and I was I like, you know, have to do it, but
miss it a
it's
bit.
difficult because every club's got their in-house people. They've all got their in-house people, and the way it is.
Yeah. So, is there any jobs out there that you would take on?
Sadly, I mean, I always said until obviously the news about Wolverhampton would have if Peter one day wanted step aside, I'd like to have had. I quite like that. So again, I had a bit of affiliation because I rode there. It's got something. I rode for Coventry, rode for Paul.
Yeah,
Paul would be a good one.
It would, yeah. Everyone's going to be like.
But my mates in there, like Midlow's there, so again, you're not. I'm not trying to cut anybody's legs off and I don't particularly want a job at this time and present. It's got to be right. I've got to want to be involved in the building of it, even if they want to have a little bit of a say, but not I build it and you just team manage it. Because then as soon as I come back, you start doing rubbish. Or Rossiter's lost it. Yeah. He's past his sell-by date.
Can't be a bit of experience.
No.
But we'll have to do this again. We'll talk the thing at the end of the season and stuff, and talk about the season gone and stuff like that. And that'd be good.
Yeah.
Cheers, Roscoe. I appreciate your time. Really enjoyed it. There was hundreds of people on all night, and they were loads of comments. It was mint. Loads of Spear riders on here as well. It was cool.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, say any comments about especially the GB. It's difficult. Like there's riders complaining that they're in it, but really, I just don't see anybody stand out that will do any better.
No.
I know some riders are doing better.
What's the situation with because all that Russia thing's all right now, isn't it? So what's going to happen with like Laguta and Emil?
What do you mean it's all no? Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know. I just presume because
there's still a ban on them at the moment.
Oh, was there? Bloody hell! Didn't know that. That I think maybe if Laguta and Emil were in it, I could think of a couple. I won't say, but I could think of a couple that could come out maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe Woofy at this rate.
I mean, say the boys. I think they want it. They're there. They're comfortable. They're in the final. No stress.
No.
A nice relaxing time to work on the equipment.
Yeah.
Get all the other stuff up. But like say. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the guys are doing exceptions. Like Richard Lawson's doing really well at the moment, but I don't see him lighting it up out there. He might prove me wrong.
Maybe, yeah. Like you said, it's
and people, there's a couple. I mean, Richie Worrell was having a good little run for a while, but Steve's got in there, and it was they said probably sent Andrews Rowe knowing he's never going to get a ride, but just gain him the experience of being around. Yeah. And I guess that's what they're doing with Tom Brennan.
Yep. He's doing
I can see people, like Blue Eyed Boy and all that. He does quite well when he rides.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I thought he's been doing well lately. What's Kevin on about? Tried to outbid me for a Swindon race jacket at last pool meeting, but didn't beat me. Ruby hates me.
Yeah, Nick. I was down at Paul and Ruby wanted Nick's race jacket. So I knew he was bidding. It was only 35 quid. Got it up to 90. And I went, I'll let him have it. He kept going up, and I kept bumping it up. I thought I was going to go 60 quid. But I got up to 90 quid, I think, or 90, might have been 100 quid. And I got him up there and I went, I'll let him have it.
That's brilliant. Oh, classic. Killed you there, Kev. Sorry, mate. Thanks, Roscoe. Appreciate your time, mate.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't bore anybody too much.
No, everyone enjoyed it for sure. Yeah, I could tell by all the comments and everything. Everyone really got into that. That was cool. Thanks, Roscoe, and I'll share the recording and it's out there tomorrow and everywhere, and everyone can enjoy it that didn't get to see it live as well. So, yeah, definitely worth watching. Thanks,
Cheers,
Roscoe.
Lee, thank you.
Hopefully, you can go and sort the change out and all that.
No, I've got to go to bed. I've got to be up at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! Jesus, there'd be no point in this, right?
Yeah, I know.
Cheers, mate. I
It's
appreciate it.
10:30.
Yeah, I know.
I've had no tea neither.
No, I'm thinking about tea now as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. All the
Top
best.
man. Thanks, Roscoe. All the best.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Legend, Roscoe. Appreciate that. What a man. That was cool. Popolina's now doing that, like, Dad, get me some food now. By the way, she was asleep through most of that interview. I look around and then she's trained to go to sleep while I'm doing that. There she is. Oh my God, I look horrible. She's in that stage now where you got to cover your face over for every picture and all that, you know. Can't see yourself anymore. But that was really cool. Enjoyed that. Lots of interesting things said in that as well. I'll have to get that out there. But should be interesting. I'll get that out there. Nanny just said hello, Poppy, on the screen. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, guys, for all coming on. There's been hundreds of good questions. Did get lost there with Roscoe in some great details and stuff there, and felt like it was just me and him then for a bit. But that was good fun. Good fun. And learned quite a few things actually there as well. Some things I didn't know actually. I thought I knew most about Roscoe, but there's a few things I didn't know. Yeah, definitely, mate. Thanks for coming on as well. Hope Ellie's had a good day. We even did the singing happy birthday as well, didn't we, Popolopodus? Hey, got some yeah, definitely watch it back, Joel. It'll be recorded on my YouTube, and I'll share the link out there and everything for tomorrow, and then people can catch up, watch an hour there and there in their own time, you know, and the iPad in bed and that sort of stuff. But it's definitely worth a watch. Roscoe went into some good details there and said a lot of stuff, and made a few hints that didn't know about. Top man. So cool, isn't it, to get like these legends on as well. Really cool. Good work, Lee. BP followed by AR. How's that even possible? Yeah, super cool, mate. It's mental out of the ones we've done. It's absolutely mad. We was looking for him again the other day. We have to just look to believe sometimes. It's all the videos we've done. Say we, me. Thanks, Colin. Thanks for coming on again, buddy. Hope it's all good in Dubai. I bet it's a bit hot over there. It's actually muggy here. I feel a bit muggy. Did you open that window in the end? Oh, you have opened the window. Thanks, Mark. I think it's a shame that Alan seems to get a lot of hate for Swindon not running, but it's out of his hands. Yeah, exactly. I tried to explain that to someone earlier that mentioned that, saying, oh, Roscoe, you know, bloody hell, and this and that. It's like, he's got no say in that. Otherwise, it'd be running, wouldn't it? It's a bit of a stupid thing to say, really. But yeah, well, like I said, if you guys, you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. I sound like you then, didn't I? But that's what you like to say, innit? Is that a TikTok thing? Subscribe, like, share. Get out there. Like I said, lives, I'll just quickly go through some of the ones you guys can catch up with. Bruce Pennell, Graham Jones, Sean Tacey, Jeremy Doncaster, Peter Collins, Sam Masters, Nigel Crabtree, Doug Wire, Jano Pedersen, Gary Avalok, Chris Morton, Calvin Tatum, Lance King with a surprise guest of Bruce Pennell, John Davis. The second one was nuts as well. Brian Carger, Barney Kennett, Jan Anderson, Alan Graham, that was cool as well. Mikhail Max, Samar Milenko, Ollie Olsen twice I done. Peter Colson, Luke Becker, Bradley Wilson Dean, Darcy Ward, that was a really cool one as well. Joe Scream was also a cool one. I had to chase him up for a couple of years. Really appreciated him coming on. Jeremy Doncaster with Chris Louis. Greg Hancock was really cool. Lawrence Hare, enjoyed that. Paco Castagna was really cool, surprising him with his hero Stefan Everts. Alf Busk, Chris Holder, Alan Carter, the brother of Kenny Carter, that was cool. Bruce Pennell and Eric Gunderson together, that was one of the ones that people loved and said that's one of the best they've seen. Ollie Olsen again, that was the second one. I did a Christmas special with John Davis, Dennis Zagalos, Neil Middleditch, and the Cobra, Mr Luxton. Oh, 3 hours I did with live of Eric Gunderson. That was mental. Per Jonsson was mental. That was really cool. Hans Nielsen, I did a 3 hours with him, was amazing. I did another one with Chris Morton, Ollie Allen, Simon Cross. Gonna do another one with Simon Cross because his internet wasn't too good in the chateau in France at the time. Paul Hurry, that was good. John Davis is nuts, his interviews. Mark Laram, Ronnie Corrie, and Andy Graham. Yeah, so that was all the live ones. And before that, I did Skypes as well, which were recorded. I got on there. You got Todd Wiltshire, Martin Slaminski showed me all around his workshop, Martin Dugard, Chris Harris, Scott Nichols, Gary Avalock again. I did Hans Nielsen on there, Lee Adams, Bruce Pennell back then as well. I did one of Roscoe on that Skype then, Jason Crump. That was cool as well. I'm going to do a live soon with Jason Crump as well, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Follow and get on all my Motocross Spear memories on Facebook. Join into my group would be really cool. Trying to get to nearly 12,000 now on there, so I'd be appreciated if you invite your family and friends into my group there. Look, trying to get to my favourite number 12 as well, my race number from back in the day. Yeah. How do you do that? All right, cool.
I don't know, when you hit like a
certain amount, is it? Poppy's telling me what I can hit. Oh, just got Grace Rossiter's just gone into the group. Thanks, Grace. Poppy's middle name is Grace as well. Poppy Grace Ashby.
That's so wrong.
That's I was just going to do that. My dad's a cringe. But that was Roscoe's daughter that just went in the group, actually. All right. She's getting with it now. Also got a page as well. The page one looks like that. That's in black. Got me on there doing the British Motocross Championship commentary that was in the programme. It was pretty cool. And then you've got my Motocross and Spear Memories YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that and you don't miss any of the videos that go on there recorded. Just see there, look, my YouTube channel. Get on there and subscribe. It's free to subscribe, so get on there, look, and it's just showing you that I'm live on here and still now, look. We had over 100 on live at times tonight as well, so it was quite busy on there tonight, which was cool. And yeah, I will keep you all updated. Keep an eye on my social medias. I should be doing some more Motocross and Spear ones very soon. Chasing lots of riders. Been speaking to Nicky Pedersen. I'm going to do one with Dennis Segalos. I spoke to Amanda Castagna. Who else have I spoke to? Loads of riders. I was going to do one with Chris Louis on his own and on live. Who else have I spoken to? Rick Miller I spoke to. Got his number now. Got Rick Miller's number. Got two cool Americans I'm just about to do, Mike LaRocco and Robbie Reynard from the heydays of the Supercross and Motocross, so that'll be cool as well. I'll keep you all updated. Much appreciated, much love. Good night and God bless. There's my old man, look, and there's the t-shirt with the quote that Graham's got me that I always say after every interview. It's nice to be a... What? Go on then, come over here. So come and say Grandad's quote you always used to say. Come on, just do it. You don't look bad. Go on then, say it properly.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
There you go. We'll leave it on that. Good night and God bless. Good night from me and good night from Popalina. Cheers.